Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 27th. I've got feedback coming in through my desktop, and I'm muting it, and it's not muted. Okay. With me, as always, is Kylie Theodora. Hi, Kylie. How are you? And that's what she says, and we know it. We love it. How are you, Kylie? Yeah, that's your second catchphrase. What? BAWLS? Not until you just brought it back up. Why are you sucking on it? Okay. You are so hot on that mic. You are, yeah, very gainy, nice and warm. No. If you were recording a vocal track for like some indie rock, then yeah, but we're not. Yeah. Too warm, hot. You're hot on the mic. You're so warm that it's hot. Yeah. Right. When you're so warm that you're hot, that's bad. Try me again. Oh, no one can hear you. Okay.
Wait. All right. Now, oh God. See, I went back to the Inspire. That's what happened. What if I have the boost and the limit on? How's that?
That sounds much better.
Great.
You sound.
We love.
Now I'm gonna say you sound thin, but
I sound thin.
But it's good.
Well, that's great. I'd love to sound thin. I wish I could look thin.
You sound. It's definitely. I love a nice warm voice, but I would rather a slightly too thin voice than a slightly too warm voice.
Okay. And how is this now?
Good. Totally good.
Did I clip just now?
You did clip. There's just
What the
one
fuck?
little baby clip. Is this
I
why
don't
we
like
stopped using
that.
the Inspire?
No. I mean, I think we literally stopped using it because, well, really just because the headphone jack wore out. Like, really, that was the main thing. So now I'm getting headphone out from the bad interface. Okay, I'm gonna
Wait, are you
boost-
running
I was-
both interfaces?
I was clipping too much. No, I'm just getting headphones from the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm actually not. I'm getting headphones from my Logitech speakers.
Okay.
And
You sound
the
good
other
now.
interface is just sitting there.
This is the best you've sounded yet.
Bam. Bam.
Okay.
Keith, bam.
Bam.
Oh, that was a clip right there, but I was really pushing it.
You were
let's
really
be
pushing
honest.
it. Yep. Yeah. Yep. And I had you turned it down, so I'm just resetting you. Everybody loves the beginning when I go, Kylie or Mike is clipping. That's the time-tested beginning to any snooze button. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about whatever else we want to talk about because it's Snooze Button, the morning show that we do where we talk for we go too long on talking and then we go too long on playing the video game.
Too short, honestly.
On which part?
The game.
Yeah, I think that
we don't go too short on the game, but it just always seems that way by comparison because we talk for so long.
Clearly we need it though. Maybe we'll try it. Maybe we'll try not to do that today.
Here's something, Keith.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about this, but you might guess that I'm boycotting the Olympics this year because, well, I mean, they should never do the Olympics any year, but they definitely shouldn't do the Olympics this year.
I would allow the Olympics to happen if they just went in the middle of nowhere and then this is where the Olympics happen every year.
Yeah. If we just had the Olympic place.
And instead, the Olympics goes and it like ruins a whole city forever.
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Every 4 years, the Olympics
Every
picks
2
a new
years.
place to ruin.
I'm sorry, every 2 years.
Sure.
Because of the Winter Olympics. It's preposterous.
And I actually don't know a lot about the Olympics because I don't care about almost any of those kinds of sports. But do the Winter Olympics, are they as ruinous as the Summer Olympics? I feel like it's more like we need to go somewhere where there's a mountain. And so it's harder to like ruin a city if you're going to a mountain.
I would guess that like between skating and stuff, there's probably tons of indoor facilities.
Yeah. Basketball.
That's a winter sport.
Yeah. That's what I said. Wait. I thought I saw people playing basketball recently for the Olympics. I saw a clip of it.
Well, it is the Summer Olympics right now.
Right, but I thought that basketball was a Winter Olympic sport. I just could be wrong about that.
I mean, I can't imagine how it. I mean,
because real basketball like just finished happening, and by real basketball I mean the NBA.
Right, real basketball.
Real basketball. Which would then free up all those NBA guys to go play in the Olympics. I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Because like, right, yeah, you wouldn't want if it was happening in the winter. That's the basketball season, sort of.
I don't really know when it starts because I don't watch basketball. What are your favorite Olympic sports? I like the weird ones.
No, listen, Keith. We're not talking about. We can't. No, because that's good press for the Olympics, and we're not doing that. They would love for us to say our favorite Olympic sports, but we won't.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't.
Because Japanese healthcare workers have been saying since the pandemics broke out that the Olympics need to be canceled because the health system in Japan is completely overloaded and they still have a really high number of COVID cases. And there's people, I mean, I don't know if they're still protesting now, but they definitely were at the opening of the Olympic Games.
I mean, no. As far as I know, when the Olympics happens, basically slowly over the course of the 8 years that it takes to make the Olympics happen somewhere, everybody in the whole city turns on the Olympics.
Right, yeah.
And then you get inevitably you get the kinds of news stories that are like, now that the Olympics are happening and everyone's swept up in Olympic fever, not so many goddamn protests are there. Guess you fucking like the Olympics, don't you? And it's like, yeah, well, we lost. The Olympics are on the TV. They're happening now.
Yeah, it's already over.
So I did see one of those articles about Japan where it was like, now that Japan's winning medals, we don't hear all these protesters who the implication being that they were only protesting because they didn't think that Japan would do good.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever. You know, who would ever think that Japan wouldn't do good in an international competition?
Okay, Keith.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna watch the Olympics.
No.
But I have seen this.
Yeah, me neither, and it's definitely because of a protest. It's definitely not just because I think it's stupid.
All right, well, I'm not watching it because I'm protesting the Olympics.
Yeah.
I am the one.
Same.
I'm the one who's still not going to watch it. But...
I didn't realize I could be getting credit for not watching it. Yeah, I'm also not watching it for the same awesome reasons.
You heard this thing about the fucking Russian Olympic Committee?
No, I haven't heard anything about the Olympics.
Okay, I saw this online. So apparently Russia is supposed to be banned from the Olympics this year.
Why?
I guess because of doping in the last Olympics, I think.
Oh.
Like they were cheating a bunch.
Yeah, they're all cheating.
Yeah, I know. But Russia, I think, was like really cheating, though. They cheated enough to get banned. Except that that Russia is winning a bunch of medals this year. And I know
Probably
what
legit, though.
probably your next question is, how can you win Olympic medals if you're banned from the
Oh,
Olympics?
yeah.
Sounds
That's my
hard.
question. What is it? How is it?
Well, I mean, I don't know the explanation, but like apparently there's just like, instead of, they're not allowed to say Russia. It's not the Russian team, it's the Russian Olympic Committee team.
That's
And
really funny.
this is somehow different.
That's some incredible legalese like loophole shit.
Yeah, and like it's apparently, what was it? It was I think it was like the Russian, like, whatever, I don't know the event name, but it's like the choreographed swimming event.
Synchronized swim?
Maybe.
Okay.
And apparently they wanted to use the song From Russia with Love.
From Russian Olympic Committee with love.
Right, and here's the thing. They've been saying Russian Olympic Committee the whole time. Like every time they have to talk about the Russian team, they say Russian. But the Russian swimming, dance, whatever team was like, we want to use From Russia with Love, and the Olympics was like, you can use the song, but you have to bleep out the word Russia.
That's really funny.
And so
do they know that that's not a Russian song?
I don't know.
It's from a James Bond movie, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And but so instead the Russian team is like using some like famous classical Russian composed music, from one of those ones. Think of a Russian composer. It might be that one.
Tchaikovsky.
It's literally that, yeah.
Nailed it. Got it in one.
Yep. And like, yeah, so whatever. But it's just, that's so frustrating to me. Right before we started the show, I just saw a headline that was like, Russian Olympic Committee wins a bunch of gold medals in gymnastics. I'm like, oh, fucking good.
I think that's great. I think that's another kind of way of protesting the Olympics.
To go there and win gold medals.
It's to go there and win gold medals when you're supposed to be banned. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just makes the Olympics look like an extremely foolish event if you're unable to ban someone so much that they are dominating the competition despite being banned.
There's some like line from someone on the Russian Olympic Committee who's like, yeah, really doesn't feel like we're banned. Like, oh, good. Great.
It's just standing there in a post-win interview with like 3 gold medals around your neck, being like, yeah, I can't wait till the next Summer Olympics when we can compete.
So yeah, fuck the Olympics in general, but especially fuck the Olympics right now in this moment. This is your fuck the Olympics message from Run Button.
So what else? You wanted to talk about the Stream Deck. Do you want to talk about the Stream Deck?
Oh, the Stream Deck. Yeah. It's a new product from Elgato. Well, they just announced the Stream Deck V2.
Sorry, no. Oh, excuse me. I meant the Steam Deck.
Oh, Steam Deck. Yeah, actually, that was announced the same day that Elgato announced Stream Deck V2. Valve announced the Steam Deck
V1.
V1. And we forgot to talk about it last week. That was kind of the big news in video games last week, and we talked about some bullshit.
And this is why we're bad at doing a video game podcast, is like, I did forget to talk about it, but the reason I forgot to talk about it was because I find it so unexciting and uninteresting. But maybe you don't. Maybe you disagree.
I guess what I would say is, I think I am one of the less negative opined people who are still not interested in the Steam Deck.
This is how I don't feel like I am truly it's I don't think it's a bad idea, but I also don't find it a compelling
Yeah.
So if you don't know, Steam,
I guess I guess when I see it, I'm like, ooh, someone else is gonna love this. Like that's my reaction
yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah. Especially because okay, so stepping back, Valve and Steam, who occasionally decide that they want to do some hardware, and it always doesn't really
And
work out for
and
them.
and Steam is Valve, just in case you got confused and was like,
Right.
are those Keith just said both of them? Are they separate? No.
No, they're the same, and so they have decided to do. Imagine what if a Nintendo Switch was a little PC.
It's a Steam Switch.
It's a Steam Switch, and it runs a Linux Steam OS, but you could also just put Windows on there, and it is a sort of yep, totally
You
can just put Windows.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. That's okay. That's something.
It is like really just a PC.
I thought it was like Steam OS only, but that's pretty interesting.
No. The only thing that makes it a Steam OS is that they have put a skin over Linux, and otherwise it's just a PC. And so it is a sort of, underpowered. It's not as powerful as a Switch, I don't think, or maybe it is about as powerful as a Switch. But it's to play Steam games on the go. It's meant to install games onto a hard drive and play them off of that hard drive. It looks like a Switch, except it's twice as heavy and thicker.
Twice as wide.
And the thing that's
massive.
interesting about how little I care about it is that, well, it's not, the screen is not any bigger than a Switch, is it? I don't think it is.
Don't think that it is, but the sides are significantly wider.
Okay, fair. So it's also not an OLED screen, which is the other thing that we didn't talk about from like the week before that, which is the Switch. They announced the new Switch that everyone's been waiting on,
right?
And all it is it's just an OLED screen, and I think it's just an OLED screen, and the dock has an Ethernet port. So
could I? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I say? I think we should. Let's finish talking about the Steam Deck.
So
and we'll come back.
But
to
I'm
Switch Pro.
I'm the person that my primary way of using the Switch is in handheld mode, and my secondary way of using the Switch is with the kickstand.
Whoa.
And the tertiary way is in the dock. I am the kick. You've heard about me. I am the kickstander.
Wow.
And
I've only heard in legends.
There doesn't have to only be one, but there is only one.
There could be many.
But there only is one. And so it's interesting that, like, in a weird way, the really negative reaction to, and I'm sorry that I've now married these two topics. I can't avoid it. The new Switch has a much better kickstand, and I'm like, I'm the guy that this is for. I'm someone that me and Isaac both use the Switch, and sometimes we want to use it at the same time, and so I kind of want to have a second Switch in the house, and one that just sits in the dock always would be perfect for Isaac, and one that has a good kickstand would be perfect for me. Meanwhile, the Steam Deck, it is like it is a Switch form factor that theoretically has a much broader list of games that I could play on it, and it just does nothing for me. I can't really explain it.
The Switch Pro does nothing for you?
No, the Steam Deck.
Steam Deck.
Where it's like,
I don't think. Okay, well, here's something it does for me and Keith. You see those touchpads on there?
It does have the Steam controller touchpads.
The Steam controller lives. The touchpads were never the super best part of that, but at least if the Steam Deck will have those touchpads, it means that they can't sunset the configuration app for the Steam controller for years.
That is a really good point. I'm the one kickstander, you're the one Steam controller user.
Oh, it's true. That's not true, Keith. There are lots of people out there who love the Steam controller. There are literally dozens of us.
So is this something that you're going to get? Are you interested in getting this?
No.
Because here's what it's good for you. You don't play games on your PC because you don't like sitting at your chair to play video games.
Yeah.
And so it would be good for not doing that and still being, but so would the Steam Link, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess it's sort of, that's what the Steam controller is for. The thing is, I do actually, I am usually sitting in my computer chair to play any games, because even when I'm playing a console game, I'm sitting in my computer chair.
You just don't like to look at the computer.
No, I don't. It feels uncomfortable for me to be forward on the mouse and keyboard all the time when I prefer to lean back and use a controller.
But why don't you just plug an Xbox controller into your computer?
I do that sometimes.
Okay. I feel like when we talk about it, a lot of the times you frame it as that you prefer to play on console. And so I thought it was more than just the controller thing.
It is. It's a combination of things. It's also like a big thing I love to do while I play games is watch a thing on my computer, and that becomes more complicated to do if I'm also playing a game
if you
on
have
it,
to instead be forced to play on the computer and watch something on the console. Because the console has all that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
What? Now I gotta use this Hulu app instead of Hulu.com?
Well, here's the thing, Keith. Here's the thing that you might not realize about me. Even less than playing a game on my PC. What I really like even less than that is playing a game in a handheld form. Because that's even less comfortable. I have to look down into
You don't like to hunch?
I have to hunch down at it, and my shoulders and my neck they don't like it. They don't like that. Or I have to hold it up high so that I don't have to crane my neck down, and then my arms get tired because this Steam Deck weighs 57 pounds.
Right, it really does. I don't know why they made it so heavy. Again, it's not really more powerful than a Switch.
It is. I think it is. I think it's for the. I think. I mean, I'll say this about the Steam Deck: it looks more comfortable to hold than a Switch, in an absolute sense. Like, my fingers are less cramped when I'm playing the game or whatever. It doesn't look portable. Like, I'm not gonna whip my Steam Deck out. I'm not gonna whip my Steam Deck out at the bus stop, or. Whatever. Like, if I'm on a train or if I'm at wherever a person might be when they use a portable game system, I don't know. When I'm at the after school program at my elementary school, I'm not going to be taking my Steam Deck out because it's too big. It looks tailor-made for the kind of person, and I'm not this kind of person. But I understand from all the years that the Switch has been out, I've come to understand this is extremely a person. A person who wants to play all their games in handheld mode, but doesn't ever want to do it outside of their house. I would have thought that person was fake, but actually that's me. Millions of people.
That's me. There's nowhere that I could take my Switch that I would want to play it. What I do want to do is like sit in my recliner in my office where it's like, I don't know. The recliner just has different vibes than the rest of the house. It's just like a very peaceful place to sit. And so I like to sit. I've got a little table there for a drink or a snack, and I like to handheld it or even put it in kickstand mode on the table and just sort of sit back and do handheld on there. Or it's like when Isaac wants to watch like Bob's Burgers for the 9th time, and I'm like, okay, I'll just play Switch over here.
Sorry, Isaac watches Bob's Burgers a lot.
Yeah.
Even I know.
It's not even that he likes it. He's just like compulsed to rewatch shit.
Wow.
I mean, he does like it, but it's not because it's like, oh, I just like Bob's Burgers every time more than a new show. It's just like, I don't know what else to do besides rewatch something. I don't know. A lot of people do this. I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people love Bob's Burgers, and I'm not sure I 100% get that part either. It's fine.
It's good. There's better and worse episodes.
Oh, okay. Better and worse. Let me hang on. Some are good. Some I'm gonna write some are better than some, but
others are worse
than
some. And what are you? Where are you writing this? What is this?
Mothers. This is going into this is going into the URL/DuckDuckGo search bar at the top of my Brave browser window, and it has given me the return: some sins are greater than others. All sins are not equal on carm.org.
Great.
And here we can see, we can quickly see this from Jesus' own words when he said in John 19:11, "You would have no authority over me unless it had been given you from above.
Right.
For this reason, he who delivered me up to you has the greater sin."
Wow.
What?
And I basically agree with that about Bob's Burgers.
What does that mean?
He who has delivered me up to you has the greater sin?
All sin leads to damnation. Even though there are sins that are greater than other sins, all sins leads to eternal damnation. The reason sin does this is not because of the severity of the sin, but because of who the sin is committed against.
Wait, no, that's great.
That's
this means
not
that it's
fucking true.
This is great because this means that you're allowed to commit sins against bad people.
Against bad people. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Which is why you can do the death penalty.
Since it is God who gives the law, when we sin, we break his law. Therefore, we are offending God and our sin is against him. Since God is infinite, our sins take on an infinite quality. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Literally. This is why we need an infinitely valuable sacrifice, which is found in the person of Jesus, who is God in flesh. John 1:14.
Why does every sin become infinite, but not every sacrifice become infinite?
Dang.
Boom.
Dang, dang, dang. Dang, dang.
I've heard all this mumbo jumbo.
Anyway. Oh, you've heard about sins and
I've heard
Jesus
about
and
sins.
God before?
Yeah. I heard all about sins.
Okay, moving on. Sorry, I thought this was the new hotness, but I guess this is old news.
Yeah, no, this is old news. Tell me about some of those new kinds of sins.
Yeah. Okay, Keith.
Yeah.
Oh. So I think we've covered the Steam Deck. Unless there's anything we're forgetting here.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of a $500 way to play older games on your couch.
My immediate reaction
on
was
handheld,
like,
not on the TV.
I bet this will be a big hit. I'm expecting this to be a big hit in like a way that the Steam boxes weren't.
No, okay. I think it's going to sell a lot, but I don't think anyone's going to use it. So I guess take from that what you will. Like, we sold a lot of these once, and then no one cared ever. Like, no one is going. Like, I think very few people are going to find a place for the Steam Deck in their life.
Say again?
I think very few people are going to find a place for the Steam Deck in their life. Like, I think they're going to buy it and then find that they do not have the urge or occasion to really take advantage of it.
I don't know, because I mean, people like PC gaming is kind of bigger than it's been in either ever or in a really long time.
Can I offer you this about the sort of people that would buy the Steam Deck? They're already playing PC games on a PC.
I know.
That's why they want it.
But I don't know. I feel like it could be a thing. I guess like the I think that's what I thought about the Switch Lite too. It was like, people are gonna buy this and then just realize they wish they could hook it up to a TV. But that's not true.
It's not true. Well, because what people wanted was a smaller way to play Nintendo games. Not a stupid big way to play I don't know.
Zelda?
No, not Zelda, because it doesn't play
Oh.
Zelda. You picked
I
the
thought you were
one.
talking about the Switch.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
you were
no.
talking about the Switch.
I was talking about the Switch Mini. They wanted a smaller way to play Zelda. People don't necessarily want like a bigger than the Switch way to play. Like, what if
but
my
let me
Switch could play Demon Doors and also was 3 times as heavy?
But I think there's a certain person out there that is like, PC gaming is the best version. It is the best possible version of gaming in every way, except that I can't sit on the couch with a portable screen in my lap and play the games that way.
But do you think
And
you think one of the ways, or do you think a lot of, for me, when you say that, I'm like, I can see why someone would say that, but it feels like a lot of the ways that you could argue that PC gaming is the best way to game, except for that it's tied to your computer, a lot of those ways get deleted once you take it out of the computer and put it in a little handheld.
Well, don't forget you can also stream to the handheld.
Right, which then I think makes certain kinds of games even less accessible. Like Disco Elysium, what a great game to stream to. I would love to have
that one
Steam Deck.
you wouldn't have to stream that one. That could run straight off the Steam Deck.
No, but it could stream.
But I know from experience using in-home streaming to a Steam Link that in-home streaming over Steam is great, and it's basically lag-free. So if you had that in your hand, I mean, that's the NVIDIA Shield. The NVIDIA Shield has been moderately successful, and Steam Deck is like an NVIDIA Shield that also has enough power to run games for real.
Yeah.
Well, but it definitely it is definitely forsaking the notion of bringing the Steam Deck anywhere outside your house for like the comfort of controls. You know, like some kind of person who's like, I do want to play on a. This is also like, I like smartphone and tablet culture. I think after smartphones and tablets, some people are just like, oh, I just want my technology screen in my hand and not on the big one against the wall.
What is that called again?
Tablets?
No, the big one, the big against the wall one.
A TV or a computer monitor.
Okay, I forgot. What? It's been so long since I needed one because of my tablet. I just forget sometimes what the big against the wall one's called.
Oh, okay. Someone's falling asleep in a sack now.
What?
I'm always watching things against the big wall one.
I think the thing that we agree on with the Steam Deck, though, is that it will sell a pretty good number of things.
Oh, I thought we were disagreeing on that.
No, I said that a lot of people would buy it and then they wouldn't use it. That's what I was saying.
Oh.
That people would buy it and then it wouldn't fit into their lives after they bought it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was our only disagreement, was whether people would actually use it after buying it. I do think it will sell well once. Like, I think the first Steam Deck will sell a lot.
All right, I'm kind of. Valve has been. I thought they had basically abandoned this, but Valve has been trying to figure out how to sell you a console.
Well, they just put out the Index, right?
Yeah.
It's not a console, but they're still doing hardware like regularly.
True. Well, yeah. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, they did the Index. They did the Steam machines. They did the HTC Vive. I mean, they didn't do the Vive, but HTC also didn't do the Vive. Factories did the Vive.
I think the headsets are they're a PC accessory. They're not really like their own game.
No, but it's just like they regularly do hardware. They do the links, the controllers. It feels
they
like
regularly do hardware, and it's not usually a big hit. But I think this one will be good for them. and
Yeah,
and I'm happy for them.
I'm not happy. Fuck Gabe Newell.
No, I'm not happy.
Fuck you and your stupid Microsoft billions, motherfucker.
You know what's so funny though is we hate Valve and Gabe Newell so much, but once they inevitably get crushed by Tencent and the Epic Store, we're gonna be like so wishing they were still around.
Don't care. I don't care.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
I don't think the Epic Store is a good store, so I don't think it'll crush anything. If Tencent wanted to crush Steam, the Epic Store would be good, but it's not. So I don't care that the Epic Store exists. Like I'm not against the Epic Store. I remember when the Epic Store launched, and a lot of people were sort of psychotically against it, and still are. But that's not me. But it's just not a good store. So they're not. I don't think it ever is going to be that good of a store.
It doesn't. I don't think it matters. I mean, they certainly have the money to make it better if they wanted to.
Right.
They just have so much money.
Yeah.
They're like the Amazon. They're like a Amazon. And Steam has money, but not Amazon.
Yeah,
money.
but if Tencent ever becomes like that big of a problem, China will just do what they did to Jack Ma, and they'll just like take it from him, from whoever is Tencent. I don't know. It's not like Steam.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks. Tencent's not a problem.
What the fuck is Tencent doing to your life that's a problem?
Let me think.
More than another company. Store. It's got to be worse than Valve.
I'm thinking long term. Whatever. I just cannot picture a scenario where I would be more against Tencent than another multi-billion-dollar video game company. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem likely. Okay. Well, Keith, I think if you had believed me about the threat, the existential threat that Tencent poses to the video game industry at large, I think if you had believed me now, we could have stopped it all right now in this moment, but clearly it's passing us by. Keith is chosen in action, and so a decade and a half from now, when Tencent owns the whole gaming industry and it's worse than ever, we'll know who to blame. We'll say, "Oh, they could have stopped it. Run Button could have stopped it back then, but Keith didn't want to."
Instead, they chose violence.
And oh wow,
Tencent, I'm officially inviting you to destroy the American video game industry.
Dude. Isn't Tencent the one? Isn't Tencent creating like they're like supplying the Chinese government with all their surveillance tech?
Probably, but every
Tencent
American
is, like,
company is doing that to the American government.
Yeah, I know.
So,
bad.
Yeah. It's the same.
They shouldn't do it. I think they shouldn't do it. I'm on record. I'm now on record as thinking surveillance technology is bad.
Yeah.
And that companies and governments shouldn't do it.
Yeah. But I'll say this. I'm more against the American companies doing it with the American government than the Chinese companies doing it to the Chinese government.
Well, Keith, that's only going to be important for as long as Tencent can't do it to the American government, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean, like, how long before Tencent has just as much power over here as they have in China?
Never. I mean, never.
Okay.
That's what I think. Never. I think the answer is never.
All right.
I live in America, and I believe that America is the worst country in the world. And so I am against it and the things that it does to a degree higher than I am against the things another country does. Especially when
Right.
that country is in a Cold War with America, that I believe to be the worst country in the world.
Whoa. Number 10 trending in video games, the Breath Mints.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Kansas
they
City
died.
Breath Mints, a team in the absurdist simulation video game Blaseball,
Yep.
has been incinerated
I heard
on
about
the
it.
first day of the season.
I heard about it yesterday. They all died.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What happens now?
I don't know. I have not been keeping up with baseball for most of 2020. But especially the last 3 or 4 months.
2021.
Sorry,
I think you
2021.
mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
For most of 2021, I haven't been keeping up with it, but especially the last 3 or 4 months.
I really started that sentence genuinely thinking it was going nowhere. Like, people are talking about a fake baseball team, but actually, they got incinerated.
The whole team. They're doing it. I think multiple teams are expected to be totally killed.
Oh. Wow.
Yep.
They had to destroy the breath mints, Keith. You know why. We both know why.
Yeah. Gig says, I'd rather have China spy on me than America. Like, yeah, what the fuck is China going to do to me if they spy on me? America could, arrest me and throw me in American jail. I'm not going to go get thrown in a Chinese jail.
What's up? For a second, yeah, why? Okay. The breath mints got incinerated. All of them. No, I don't know. No, I'm doing a show. Get out of here. Sorry, my roommate came to bother me to ask if we were talking about baseball.
It's true.
And I said yes.
Almost were.
And then I'm sure you heard me tell them. And then they were like, all of them? And I said yes. And they said some other stuff I didn't understand. And I was like, okay, get out of here. And now we've all lived through this moment twice. Could I say
baseball became too much, so I stopped. Yeah. I stopped paying attention to it.
Can we?
Yes.
Sorry, closing my web browser.
Okay.
It was a dark distraction. Can we talk about the Switch Pro now? That is not a Switch Pro.
Right, yes. The rumored Switch Pro that actually is the Switch OLED model.
Could I say, Keith, and I'm not even 100% sure myself exactly where this feeling is coming from, though I think I might have just nailed it here. I know many people, including perhaps even you, were disappointed by, there had been rumors for months, years. They're literally years.
Yes.
There had been rumors for years that Nintendo was always on the verge of announcing a new Switch Pro that would be more powerful than a Switch, higher resolution. Maybe they'll even fix the Joy-Cons. Who knows? Anything is possible. But
nice clip on that.
Oh no. Well, apparently they finally announced, and all the time, Nintendo started by giving their
bigger
usual,
screen. That's the other thing. I forgot. Bigger screen.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo is notorious for not saying anything before they announce stuff. They even they were putting out statements that were basically like, in so many words, in the type of speech that is allowed in a press release, being like, come on, guys, you know us. You know we're going to put out a new version of the Switch, but we're just going to wait until it makes sense for us. Don't worry, it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
And so they finally announced this new Switch model, and it sounds like everyone's disappointed because it's not more powerful, and the screen is not bigger, but the bezel is smaller, I think.
Well, no, the screen is bigger, but the unit is not bigger because they have reduced the size of the bezel.
Gotcha.
Yes. And it is like it is a decent chunk bigger. Like, it's not a huge size increase.
I haven't even seen this thing.
The kickstand looks really sharp, if I do say so.
I heard nothing about the new kickstand. I'm happy about that.
Well, it took the kickstander to let you know.
Oh wow, that's a big boy kickstand.
Yeah.
That's a chonker.
Yeah, it's a sort of kickstand that doesn't look like it's gonna snap off at any second.
No, but it also looks like, well, maybe actually this is probably a good thing. It's holding the Switch at a much lower angle.
It
so
has
like,
variable angles now.
Oh! Wow, that's a Switch Pro, baby.
Yeah, I also do really like the white dock.
Sorry, it's got OLED screen, white dock, white Joy-Cons. Could I say though, Keith? I mean, I guess I've never been a half-step console person for as long as that's been a thing. You know, I didn't get the PS4 Pro,
you get the
Xbox One X.
You got the Xbox 360 Elite.
No,
I
did not get the Elite. I tried to get the Elite came out before I had a 360, so I wanted that to be my first 360, but they were sold out everywhere, so I got a regular one, and then my white 360 got the Red Ring of Death like the day before Halo Reach came out, and so Grandma and Grandpa bought me a new Xbox 360, and it was
nice.
the slimmer one. So I guess my thing is, where I'm going with this is I think I'm experiencing a little bit of schadenfreude right now. I think I'm kind of getting a kick out of how upset everyone is that this isn't a brand new thing. Because who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'm not upset about... I mean, obviously, I would have rathered if I could have played Breath of the Wild and, like, done the Master Sword scene without the whole thing slowing down to about 9 frames a second. Like, it would have been really nice to play that first party Nintendo launch game.
Keith, yeah. I actually have a solution for you because I've experienced this recently. You're talking about the Wii U version of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yeah, the frame rate's fine on that one.
But does it look worse?
Listen, no, it looks exactly the same. I will say this though. You are literally describing the one moment in Breath of the Wild where the frame rate dips to maybe a level that is unacceptable for what's happening on the screen.
There's a few.
The frame rate on that game is fine.
There's a few, but it's also like games are. But that was a launch game, and we're now in 2021, and like more games are looking more bad on the Switch. And I would have liked something.
I guess that's
true. I don't need to play. I'm not looking for a thing that runs Crysis. You know, like.
Well, good news. You already have something that will play Crysis, because isn't there like a Crysis on the Switch already?
I actually don't know. I'm just using it as a metaphor, but.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Crysis Remastered on Switch.
The Steam
66 on Metacritic
is so long. It looks like a fucking skateboard.
It's so long. It really is.
It's
like
so
that's
long.
That's what I mean. Like people looked at the Switch and said, "That's not portable. You can't put it in a pocket."
They were wrong because it is.
They were wrong. It is portable, and also, I can tell you there are lots of pants that have pockets big enough to hold a Switch.
Take the Joy-Cons off, and I would say that the average pair of men's jeans can put it in their pocket easily.
I would agree with that. Unless you're wearing skinny jeans.
Right. I said average.
Average, right. And there's nothing average about skinny jeans. No, it's fine.
No.
Whatever. I don't... Oh, but this thing does do... What does this thing do? 4K or something? Like, it'll do 4K docked or something.
Well, no. Absolutely not.
Oh, that was the rumor, and it's not doing that.
There is no hardware upgrade to it. I'm sorry, there's no internal upgrade to it.
I'll say, I mean, OLED screen is really nice.
Yeah, it's a bigger OLED screen and a better kickstand.
The screen on the Switch sucks.
I was not expecting a bigger screen or a kickstand upgrade. And so for the way that I use the Switch, saying it's not going to be better powered, but you get a kickstand upgrade and a bigger screen, but it's not going to be a bigger
much
device
nicer
and a
screen.
much nicer screen. I was expecting a nicer screen. I was not expecting a bigger
Sure.
screen.
Yeah.
Because they already said, like, in some of those reports, they were like, they're buying OLED. Nintendo's been buying OLED stuff. So I'm like, look, would I have liked it to have been more powerful and with a better I actually don't know if it has bigger battery. I don't think it does. Because they did a battery upgrade, and I think it's got the same battery as that battery upgrade, which means it actually will probably have worse battery.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because it's a bigger screen and an OLED.
Well, I guess my question is OLED known for being lower power than
OLED is
LCDs or not?
OLED uses less power with blacks and more power with other colors.
So yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I'm sort of like, it's sort of like 2 steps back, 1 step forward, where it's like, oh, doesn't have a slightly more powerful thing. I just wanted a little boost, like a look, this
Battery
thing is
life?
showing its age. Well, battery life, but also I mean like
sure.
the speed and like graphical power. I just wanted a little sort of boost to it to be like, this thing is showing a little age. Let's bump it a little bit. But the kickstand is really compelling for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's not forget, Nintendo is absolutely not above announcing a Switch Pro next year and then releasing it like 6 months later.
And this is the really frustrating thing, where if I go and buy this, because again, this is not an upgrade Switch for me. This is, I have wanted a second Switch in my house for 2 years, and I have been waiting for them to announce the stupid Switch that they've been talking about and that people have been reporting is coming out for 2 years.
Well, that's the thing. They haven't been talking about it, have they?
They a little bit have.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's like you said, they were like, hey, we're going to put out a more powerful, it's us. We're going to do it.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. And then it's been being reported since before they announced the battery upgrade Switch, people have been saying, not Nintendo, people have been saying, oh, they're gonna announce a more powerful Switch. And I believed them.
This is my thing, is that like this was like groupthink. Like Nintendo never hinted that they would release a much more powerful.
No. And if I could say, you are the only person that I know in life or on podcasts where people talk about video games as a job for like a company. You're the only person that every time these reports came out, you were like, no, they're not.
Yes.
You've been saying it the whole time that they weren't going to do this. And I was just like, everyone's saying that they're going to do it. So I'm just going to believe them.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed like it was like everyone was so certain that they wanted a more powerful Switch that they forgot
that Nintendo does not want to give anyone what they want.
Yeah, that Nintendo never gives you what you want. Yeah. Yeah, the only time they'll give you a more powerful console is when you never wanted it, like with the new 3DS, and then no games will use it. I mean, that's the thing, is like there hasn't been a good history of Nintendo making more powerful handhelds. They did it with the DSi and the new 3DS, and neither of those had any notable software that used that
but it's
upgrade
not,
at all.
This is what I'm trying to say though about the Switch, is it's not about new software utilizing the increased power. It's about the software that was going to come out anyway feeling better and smoother and like
fair.
We're about to play Pokemon Unite, right? Switching characters on the character select screen in Pokemon Unite is like pulling teeth. It takes 3 seconds to thumb over to the next character.
Okay, but not because they could have made a good character select screen.
The rest of the game runs fine. I don't know what the fucking problem is. But if you're telling me that you have a system that is just like 7% faster, I don't think it would be that big of an issue.
maybe not. I guess the question becomes, if they upgraded the Switch like that, is that something that games like, is that extra power something games would even be able to tap into automatically, or would you not have to go and patch each game individually and tell it to make use of the increased hardware? Because like, what if the game is doing something really specific where it's all tuned to the specific timings of the original Switch? And then, I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
if
I don't
games
know.
even really do that anymore, but like,
Look,
I
all I
don't
know
I
is
don't
that
know that
when
like,
I upgrade a part in my PC, all of my older games become faster and smoother
right, yeah, but I mean,
without
like
an update.
I guess I'm thinking of like the PS4 Pro, right? Like it had a boost mode that could make games run faster, but only if they patched the game to do that. But
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe that was more a decision on Sony's end. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess it
Sony
could
is
be
very
anything.
similar to Nintendo in the way that they make very weird decisions for seemingly no reason.
Well, here's the thing. I think Nintendo is pretty smart here. I actually like I, I for as frustrated as I get about the things that Nintendo does that are really dumb, I think they are often like, they're sort of like they're like fiscal conservatism or their business conservatism or something is like frustrating a lot of times, but I think this is an instance where it's smart, where like they have this huge install base, and instead of like segmenting it, they're gonna presumably wait a little bit longer, and then I don't know,
Segment it.
put out. Yeah, geez, I don't know. Where do they go
Making
from here?
video game
Because like
hardware is
Switch 2 doesn't sound like a great idea to me either. Because
making
there's
video
I
game
don't know.
hardware is necessarily segmentative. You are always going to be
Yeah,
segmenting your audience, whether
yeah.
it's every 5 years, every 7 years, every 10 years. People don't buy games on they don't
I'll
people are
say,
going to be
well,
buying Nintendo systems whether they're going to be buying the new one or the old one.
yeah.
Like, I don't think it's that big of a problem financially. I think what it ends up being when you segment your customer base like that by putting out like, how many fucking half steps have Microsoft done? It seems like it's working for them. Like, I think
Yeah.
all it does is frustrate consumers,
Mm.
not I don't think it's a money loser to do it.
Yeah,
Especially sorry,
you might be right. I
here's
don't know.
something I haven't heard anybody mention though is again like you were talking about their sort of Nintendo has a sort of money caution in their decision making, especially
Yeah.
for hardware. No, maybe not especially for hardware. I think for everything. But
Yeah.
we are still in the middle of a like
Oh yeah.
a chip deficit.
Yeah. It's it's funny. We didn't two times we talked about my building a PC last or earlier this year, back when it happened, and like last week or something, and both times we forgot to mention that original time when I built that PC, and then we talked about it on Snooze Button, and I was like, "Oh, neither of us knew that there was a GPU shortage at the time."
Yeah.
Apparently, like I was talking about how I was like, "Oh, I've just elected to not buy a new GPU
Well,
because
now there's a second thing.
I want to save money." And apparently people would have been listening to that and going like, "Cuz you can't get one. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?"
yeah. The old I have an old GPU that I got before the GPU shortage. I have a 1070. I have a
Mhm.
1070
Yeah, I have a
KO
1060.
is what it is. So it's like a half step 1070. And it was around $200, I think.
Yeah.
That same one now is like almost $600. I swear to God.
The prices are finally coming down. It's probably closer to 200 right now, or actually more like 300, but yeah.
I can take a
It's
look
still bad.
on my Newegg
It's
account.
it's so rough because like I look at the eBay prices now for graphics card. It's like it's been so out of whack for so long that I look at the prices and I go like, oh, $200 for a 7-year-old graphics card. That's not bad. And then I'm like, wait, no, it's very bad. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Okay, so let me look at my order details on this, and I'll tell you exactly. I actually do have a 260 KO. I have an EVGA GeForce RTX 260 KO Ultra.
Now
It was $320 when I bought it.
Wow.
And it is now. Let's see what it is up here. Last time I looked, it was like $570. It is. It is $1,100.
No, it's not.
I swear to God.
What are you talking
it's
about?
11. I'm seeing one. Yeah.
Okay, but
EVGA GeForce RTX.
I'm talking about real prices. eBay.
Okay. It's Newegg. I'm just talking about my Newegg price from just before this time last year to now.
Wow. This is on eBay. These GTX 1070s are like 400, 500, 300, 300, 200, 400. This is fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
totally
seeing it.
Fucked up.
Well, this one's these are auctions. So if you go to Buy It Now's,
yeah,
500, 800, 625. So it's definitely cheaper than Newegg.
Yeah,
but,
and there are just a lot of people taking ridiculous swings.
Oh, and these are used too. Some of these are used.
Yeah.
So condition new.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, 600, 800, 900, 975, 987, 910. Yeah. So
now, I would like to offer though, like Nvidia and Radeon as like perfect examples of how and I know it's not this exactly the same business of like how like the over like providing way too many stepped options.
Okay, sorry, Kylie. These cheaper ones are not the exact one that I have. These are the slightly worse ones.
Yeah.
The more expensive one, the KOs, are the ones that are still 1,000. Yeah, so just insane prices. I snuck in there right under the thing, but there's also a processor shortage now too, right? Like it's not.
There's a chip shortage in general.
Right. So, but there was just a GPU shortage because of Bitcoin before there was a chip shortage in general, and now it's
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I was never talking about the bit mining when I was talking about. I mean, the GPU shortage. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, it basically graphics cards have been harder to get ever since mining happened, but then the pandemic really ruined things. And so I think my understanding is, I could be wrong, I think that the global chip shortage is maybe sort of ending soon. Like we're sort of catching up, except in the graphics card area where demand is still nowhere near being met at this point.
Yeah, and sorry for everyone for getting what my graphics card was so wrong when I think I said 1070 and it's a 2060.
Oh, okay, yeah, you did get that really wrong.
I did read it. I know that I said 1070 at some point. I did read it as 2060.
Oh. Okay, yeah, 2060s are really expensive right now.
Yeah, the 20. Yeah, but I bought it for 300, and they are now 1,000.
Yeah,
they probably were higher before, but so this is what I was trying to say about the Nintendo thing is there is a world where Nintendo meant to put out an increased graphically capable Switch, and have chosen to not do that based on pricing, where they were like, well, we were supposed to be making money on this. We're supposed to be making more money by slightly upgrading this, but actually these parts are just even older now than they were 4 years ago. But we can't make money on these anymore, so we're just not going to do it.
They're like, we're sitting on all these OLEDs waiting for the chips to become available. We're just going to have to put out an OLED version of this thing.
Right.
Like, we don't...
And because it's Nintendo, where maybe another company might have said, like, hey, there's a fucking chip shortage. What do you want us to do?
Right.
Nintendo is
that's a
just
good
like
point.
Nintendo is just like dead silent about everything.
Yeah.
They don't announce it
Mhm.
ahead of time. They don't say what they're planning, and they don't say why they made these decisions, and they don't say whether or not they were motivated by any external factors. I haven't heard
Yep.
anybody talking about the chip shortage in relation to the Switch OLED, but it immediately occurred to me anyway.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Though I have to wonder what they're doing for the Steam Deck. But I was thinking
Well,
as you were having this
the
conversation.
Steam Decks are lost led with the extremely expensive hard drives. So they've got the cheap one with no hard drive space for it's like almost $500, and then the ones that have decent hard drive space with the NVMe SSDs they're like $650 or something like that. So like the thing that they're doing is just charging a lot more for it.
Yeah. So what I was just gonna say though is that maybe I think I think I think when I heard the Switch OLED announcement thing, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. They really don't need to put out a more powerful Switch, really. But now that the Steam Deck, I feel like there were a lot of people kind of not subconsciously, they were sort of mentally putting away money for us. In their head, they're like, I'm gonna buy a new Switch soon. But then all of a sudden, the new Switch doesn't look that appealing, but there is this brand new Steam Deck thing. And maybe there's all these people that were like gearing up to buy a Switch that are now like, oh, well, I don't need the new Switch. I'll get a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are going to buy the Steam Deck because of the Switch thing.
Yeah, it is really like the perfect time for them to have announced the Steam Deck, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if Valve is as careful with their money as Nintendo is, so they might not be making as much or any money. Because with Valve, they're like, this is a box that is our storefront. This is a buy from Valve box. Which
you said you can install your a full OS on it, so theoretically,
but
I can install Windows and then go to my Epic store.
I think if they have discounted that as like monetarily significant, they would. I think if they have discounted that as a monetarily insignificant loss, they would be right. The amount of people that are going to do that, I think, are small.
I agree. So maybe that's the Switch and the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith, I have more keyboard adventures to talk about.
Oh, me too.
You do?
I finally lubed my switches on my candy bar keyboard.
Wow, that's okay. First of all, so happy for your lube.
And it's a dream.
I didn't realize this was a thing.
What?
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know you could lube.
Okay.
I didn't know you had to lube your switches.
Please do me a favor. Take your microphone, put it next to your keyboard, and lightly brush your fingers over the keycaps and listen to that noise.
Okay. Like that?
Oh, I couldn't hear it, but could you hear it?
Oh, wait, let me if I maybe make sure I don't have. Yeah, I mean I could hear it. Let me make sure I don't have noise cancel on. But what about it? Go on.
That noise is that horrible noise.
Right,
makes me want to fucking puke.
I'm disgusted with myself. I'm holding back my vomit right now.
I'm gonna Ralph on the keyboard.
I'm just gonna blow chunks all over my whole desk.
That noise is the sort of leverage of your fingers on the top of the keycap, bending the stem of the switch into the housing of the switch, and it makes a clicky clacky noise. And if you lube the stems, there it is. That's that sound. Let's get that again. Yeah, makes me want to fucking puke. So what the lube does, in addition to lubricating the action of the switch in general, is that it puts a little buffer between the stem and the housing that eliminates that noise,
or
severely reduces it. And so you get a much more singular click when you push the key, because the only sound, well, depending if you got a clicky switch, then it's different. But the only sound now is the bottom of the stem hitting the bottom of the housing, instead of the bottom of the stem hitting the bottom of the housing and the sides of the stem hitting the walls of the housing. And so you get a louder and less singular noise. Here, I'll do the same on mine. Can you hear anything?
Nope.
Yeah, I know you can't. Oh, I'll do it. I actually left my number pads unlubed, so let's see if you can hear this.
Oh, I can hear that.
And then
it's silent.
Silent.
Wow.
Yeah. It sounds fucking good as hell. It sounds really good.
Damn, I was gonna say the clackiness thing, I'm not sure it bothers me, but it is the primary way that you can tell that my keyboard is slightly lower quality than like yours.
Here, wait, let me actually hit the keys. I'm gonna hit the keys and we can hear what it sounds like typing it.
Wow.
That's the not even done ones.
Oh,
and then
geez. I mean, we love that. Unless you want,
unless you want
louder,
random. Everyone likes a little bit of clack, but you've got to rein in your clack.
Right.
You got to rein it in. But really, what happened?
You can't just go whack with your clack.
Really, what happened is you got to clean your keyboard. It gets nasty under there, and so I took off my keycaps, and I was like, while I'm doing this, maybe I should lube my stems.
I'm very concerned about my white keyboard.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm hoping that the white keyboard encourages me to dust it regularly, so that it will not build up a layer of disgusting cruft underneath. Though the lack of bezel, I know you hated the lack of bezel, gives me real good air dusting.
Yeah,
clearance.
True.
I have to say. Okay.
So tell me about your keyboard news.
My keyboard news is that how did this come up? Okay, so
it came up by you saying I have keyboard news.
There's a lot. No, not in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
There's been a lot of talk of old PCs around my house these days because I've been playing some old PC games.
I saw you boot up Quake right after we talked about how you didn't like Quake.
Damn it. Yeah, last week I kind of talked some mess about Quake a little bit, and then I was like, I should go give Quake another chance, I should go see if the things I said about it I agree with. And actually, no, I had a ton of fun playing Quake, and I was like, damn, Quake is good.
Yeah, Quake is good.
Still not as good as Doom, but it's good. But Cheryl had, I guess, Cheryl isn't like a computer person, but she had like a Windows 3.1 machine growing up, which is old. And
I also had that.
Oh, yeah. But I think she like only had Windows 3.1 for like a long time. But anyways, I think she went home to like I'd see if she had the computer and can bring it back, but instead her parents threw it out, but knew to keep the hard drive, which I was really surprised about. When she was like, I think my parents still have the hard drive, I was like, oh, I hope they're the kind of people that think the hard drive is the entire tower, because that would be really good. But no, they actually just took the IDE hard drive out of it. But then we were thinking like, we should buy a DOS computer, and we should run DOS games on it. That would be great. But they're expensive, and the only one we found like, we found one though. We found one that was a great price. It had a monitor. It was like everything that we wanted. It was like $50 for like this like Pentium DOS computer, but it was local pickup only in Fort Lauderdale.
So you drove to Florida.
So we drove to Florida. No. But anyway, so I was now I'm thinking like, well, I have my old PC that has the Intel CPU in it. I'm like, hey, it's got integrated graphics, so it doesn't need the graphics card I took out of it. So I've been putting that together to put in the dining room so that we have a PC so that we don't have to play Diablo in my bedroom. That's the thing, really. I'd love to be able to play Diablo in my dining room. And the only route to that was to put my PC back together and put it in the kitchen.
So,
And yeah.
oh no, you finish.
Okay. I don't know if there's much more to that story other than I think I only have one keyboard because my old one broke. I would have just used the old one, but it's broken. And it's and I'm not checking. It's definitely broken. And I'm not going to check. Because what I had to do was go on microcenter.com and look at the open box deals. And I saw a deal for a keyboard. And it was a keyboard that had caught my eye before when I was picking out keyboards at the store. It was one of these cheap Red Dragon keyboards. You know about these?
Of course I know about those. These are the budget ones that all the people that do videos about $2,000 keyboards will then do a sort of maybe secret ad video about how much they love these $20 keyboards.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I was in the store and I saw the Red Dragon keyboard that was like mechanical. It was a mechanical keyboard for like $45. And I'm like, wow, that's a really good price.
What kind of switches?
It has first of all, I think when I looked at it, it said cherry blue. And I was like, cherry blue? Are you sure? No. Cherry blue compatible. Cherry blue.
Very funny.
So, not cherry blues then. just tactile switches that try as hard as they can to be cherry blues.
They're not
anyways,
clicky?
Yeah, they are clicky. Yeah.
Okay.
At the time, I think I was nervous about getting the Red Dragon keyboard because I already felt like the Razer one was a great deal, and this felt like flying too close to the sun. I'm like, I don't want to end up with a crappy mechanical keyboard, so I'll pass on this one.
It was brandless. It was not like Gaterons or something.
It's not. It's not those. I can go. Oh, the box is right here. They did give a name. It's or you know what? I don't think it's on the box. I think it was on
little info card maybe. For a long time, if you were getting a knockoff Cherries Switch, it was Gaterons or Kale, and then again, I don't know.
I've heard of those,
but
I've heard of those. So it was one I hadn't heard of.
Yeah, and then I think they both sort of upped their game, especially Kale, and now anybody who likes Switches is like Cherry is unambiguously the worst brand of mainstream Switch. Yeah, no one likes it anymore.
So not only was this a $45 keyboard, I guess marked down to $43, but then the open box I got was like $35.
This is the Red Dragon.
This is the Red Dragon I got, and it's a 65%, so it's got the F keys and the arrow keys. So I guess now I have a backup. If I'm playing a game where I really can't stand not having dedicated F and arrow keys on my keyboard, I can switch to this thing.
To me, F keys and arrow keys sounds like a 10 keyless. No F keys, I think.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yes, this is a 10 keyless, not a 65%. Even though this keyboard, I ordered it, and then right after, I ordered it for in-store pickup, and right after that, I was like, oh no, did I do the wrong thing? Because the title of this is Red Dragon K552 Mechanical Gaming Keyboard 60%. It's not even 65%.
No, it's 70.
Yeah, it's not 70. It's not 60% at all. But anyways, I was really pleasantly surprised with the keyboard, honestly. After using it for a little bit, yeah, it's clear the switches are definitely much lower quality than the Razer purples I have, for example. Like it's sort of like they take a little bit more pressure to actuate, and you can kind of feel like an inconsistency between the keys. Like not all the keys feel 100% the same. Not every key press on every key feels 100% the same, but like if you just want a mechanical keyboard for the cheapest price, like it's a really good price. It has a bunch of built-in RGB lighting effects, just like the Razer keyboard, but unlike the Razer keyboard, the customization program won't work. I downloaded I downloaded it from their website, and they gave me a RAR file, and I was already like I was reeling from that. I was like, a RAR file? Like what year is it? And I went to
You
install
opened it up, and it was actually just full of SNES ROMs.
It was literally it had an exe file in it, and I'm like, that was just called like installer or something, and I'm just like, all right, here we go. Just this non-specific exe I downloaded off of this like
installer,
not impressive looking website, and I opened up the installation app was an install shield wizard. Do you remember install shield wizard?
Of course I did. I used to also install things in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Right, exactly. Like in the 2000s, almost every app you downloaded online had the exact same, like if you just Google install shield wizard, you'd be like, "Oh, this screen. Yeah, I've seen this screen a million times." But like,
yeah, the blue installer that takes over your whole thing to make sure you don't do anything while you install.
No, it didn't take over my thing. You know, it just has those little arrows, little icon or whatever. I guess it could.
I think the older ones did.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because like it's not like the keyboard is not old enough. It can't. There's no way the Red Dragon brand and its keyboards are as old as Install Shield Wizards.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I install this program and just it puts a little keyboard icon on my, I don't know, my toolbar thing. Anytime I click on it, it just says, device is not detected. The key settings cannot be displayed. And then I click OK and it goes away. And that's the whole thing.
Great.
And I plugged it in. I guess the only thing I haven't tried is plugging the keyboard directly into the motherboard USB ports. But other than that,
I cannot. So I put it off because of how much work it was going to be. The lubing the switches.
Yeah. Oh, so I heard that and I was like, oh, I gotta lube up this Red Dragon. Maybe that'll fix everything.
It just seems like a lot of effort for a $35 keyboard.
It is a lot of effort. The other thing that's great about the Red Dragon
is
that
so I did.
It's like swappable switches too, which is
it's hot swappable.
I think it's hot swappable.
Well, that's great because what you should do is you should just take out and throw away all those switches.
Right. I know.
Spend now double what you paid for the keyboard itself on good switches.
No.
Yeah, spend $70 on switches, or you could go to the mechanical keyboard Reddit. You go to Mech Market and buy pre-lubed switches for $80. Get some filmed and lubed.
Okay.
Switches.
Filmed? Sorry, filmed?
Yeah, filmed.
And that
talking
means
to a
what?
baby.
What is
my
filmed?
switches were already filmed. I filmed them when I got them, and I declined to lube them. So you open up the housing.
Okay.
And then in between the top and the bottom of the housing.
Wait, open the housing?
Yeah, the switch is open. And this is what you should do to lube them too, is you have to open the switches. And be very careful not to lose the spring.
You know what's other? Go ahead.
There's a tool you can get. You can do it with you can do it with a fork.
Open the switch. Each switch.
You have to open it. This takes hours.
Oh my god.
It takes hours. I lubed it the lazy way. Where I depressed the switch and then used a toothpick to swab the inside with lube. It's imprecise, but it's much faster. But I did open them, and this is why I'm an idiot, because I should have just lubed them then. But I opened the housing and I put film. I filmed them all with these little plastic films, and it just creates a tighter tolerance on the. It creates a tighter tolerance on the on the housing. So
That's good.
Yeah.
The other thing about the Red Dragon is the base is even heavier than the Razer keyboard. There's a lot of good things about that keyboard.
The Red Dragon's heavier than the Razer?
The base is heavier.
Wow, that's
than
impressive.
the Razer.
Yeah, you should totally get some. What kind? You get the clicky ones. Maybe get some. What are the novel key sherbets or something?
Well, the thing is, I'm happy with this Razer. I don't think I need to go ham on this Red Dragon. I think it's fine to just be like, if I ever play a game where I want arrow keys, I'll just switch to that one. I think it's fine.
Okay. Well, okay, and then you already have the Razer clicky, right?
True.
So you should get another kind of switch for those. You should get a tactile or a linear.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, that's a good idea. I did also think about like, oh yeah, I could like if I really wanted to, I could maybe transfer the Razer purples over to the Red Dragon if I really wanted to have F keys and arrow keys. But
yeah.
The only disappointing thing about the Red Dragon, other than that the Switch quality is just obviously not super high, is that it says Red Dragon in big letters. Like the Razer keyboard only says Razer in very tiny letters on the bottom, but this one just says Red Dragon anytime you look at it.
You know what you would love? I promise you would love this. Ready?
What?
Go to Mech Market.
This is a promise.
This is a promise. Go to Mech Market, buy yourself 70 or 80 pre-lubed or maybe filmed and lubed novel key blueberries.
And what are those?
They are the novel key branded Kale tactile switches. The clickless bump. They have the same tactile bump that a Switch has, but they're silent.
I feel like that might be the opposite of what I want.
No, I think you would love it. I think you would get a ton out of it.
You might be right. I mean, I'm not going to do that because I just bought a second mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, now you've got to soup it up.
Yeah, no. See, yeah, that was the thing. Like, I literally needed a second keyboard, so I bought one. And then after I got it home and it was like kind of getting excited about how good it was for the price, I was like, oh no, I might be sliding down the slippery slope. I have two mechanical keyboards now.
Well, but think of it this way. Think of it this way. You can spend your $35 on the cheap keyboard and spend, $80 on switches for it to give yourself an extremely high quality, still underpriced keyboard. Or you could have gone the other route where you spent $300 on the chassis and then still would have had to spend the $80 on the keys. So you're still getting out way ahead.
It was still a great deal for the chassis, except for the fact that it's black. It says Red Dragon on it.
If you wanted to lube them yourself, 70 novel key blueberries is $45.
Oh, but Keith, here's the problem though, is that I'm addicted to illuminated keys. Is this would that be, I think that's going to be a whole problem.
Oh, well, no, these are illuminatable.
Oh, okay.
They're
illuminable. Let me go run real quick and grab, I can't find what switches are in this Red Dragon thing anywhere, but I think it might be in the little pamphlet that's like in the kitchen.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Robodendron says, I'm sorry, lube
I fell over and I'm dead now.
Sorry, lube them? Oh my god, you aren't talking about the Nintendo Switch. No, keyboard switches, you lube the stem inside the housing and it makes it quieter. I cannot hear what she's saying. I'm tweeting that we're about to start the video game. About to start the game portion of Snooze Button. I'm going to play. I'll play Pokemon Unite. Okay. Yeah, I was sort of skeptical about the lubing of the Switch, and actually it's part of the reason why the first set of Switches I got were the novelty creams, because they're made out of a special self-lubricating plastic. And so I was like, I don't care about the noise. The self-lubrication of the creams is enough for me. And I don't know what happened. I was like, I've got to clean my keyboard. And then I just got obsessed with the noise that it was making. I was like, it seems louder than it used to be. And I was like, maybe the self-lubrication shaved off just enough, nanometer of plastic material in order to like start the lubrication process that it's been slowly deteriorating the contact point between the stem and the housing.
I'm bad.
All of a sudden, the noise just started driving me crazy. And so I was like, I'm fucking lubing them up. And I did. And it's a dream. I tried.
Wow. Your keyboard was too loud. It got too loud. That was a quiet keyboard.
Yeah. And it just all of a sudden started bugging me that it made that noise when I ran my fingers across them. I don't know if it got louder or if I just was in a weird mood where I was like, this fucking keyboard should be quieter. And I spent 80 minutes and now it is so much quieter. And it's not just quieter. It's so stupid. But this is why people get mechanical keyboards. This is even why people get Cherry Blues, the loudest key of all time. It's you want your keyboard to make a nice sound. And this keyboard now sounds, the quality of the sound, the timbre, if you will.
Oh, I love a good keyboard timbre.
It is really strong.
Okay, well, it looks like I can't find the Switch info in the little...
That's okay. Hey, you ready to play Pokemon Unite?
Yeah.
You ready to watch? I'm going to close my door. My door opened. 1 sec.
I'm just frustrated. I'm like, where'd that key info go? It was somewhere. The other thing about the Red Dragon I don't like is that the keys have a gamer font on them. That's part of the thing you're getting in that low price. You're like, ooh, that price is so low. What's the downside? The downside is it's a gamer keyboard.
Right. Yeah.
The downside is that the font is like this squared font that's also segmented.
It has like a stupid like edgy font that says Red Dragon, right?
It has their Red Dragon logo text, yeah.
All right, are you ready for this?
In the little spot between the arrow.
Are you ready for this new way of doing
keys.
run button audio?
I'm totally ready for it. Hit me, baby. I love that.
How's that?
That's great.
That's great, right?
It's even, and I can hear it so well. You know what I'm wanting now, Keith?
Lower?
I want to see it.
Oh, right. Let me make this bigger over here. Just making the picture on XSplit or OBS bigger so that you can share my screen. Application. Does this work? This used to work, but it doesn't work anymore.
I don't think it did.
Does that work?
Oh, no, it did used to work. No.
No? Okay. Yeah, it did used to work. I don't know what happened. It used to work. I can just do this.
Exciting thing about my keyboard. This open box keyboard wasn't even an open box. Weird.
How's that? You like that?
No, I don't see anything.
No?
Nope.
It's dead.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Hang on. I have this new problem in Discord where when someone launches screen share, it doesn't full screen the screen share, it full screens their audio feed.
That's
and
weird.
I have to
You
manually switch to the feed. But
That's
anyways,
weird.
here you are Here's your Gengar.
Here's my Gengar.
We're here in the new Pokemon MOBA. Keith, tell me all about this. You've been playing it. I haven't seen it at all.
Okay, so the new Pokemon MOBA. You're saying there's lots of MOBAs. What kind of MOBA is this? This is a MOBA for babies.
I'm not saying that. They're all the same. Go ahead.
No, they're not all the same because Dota is bad and not fun, and Heroes of the Storm was really fun. And this is a Heroes of the Storm MOBA. And that means it is the MOBA format, but simplified from being a complex, weird thing to being an actually fun game that is enjoyable to play and that you can take a few months off of and then jump back in and still have fun and still know what's going on. Again, I don't know if that's going to be the case with this because it just came out, but it is simple, 10-minute MOBA rounds. You pick a Pokemon, they have a couple moves, there's not creeps, but there's like, it's just like, there's little jungles all over the place. Jungling is the creeps are the things that move across, and what you want to do is like get your creeps to the other team's goal. Like that's sort of the MOBA thing. This doesn't have creeps. It just has like Pokemon that are sitting around that are like little XP farms for you. So you're taking your Pokemon out, you're leveling up, you're trying to get kills, you're trying to get XP. We'll see what it is, and we'll see that it is both fun and also severely underbaked, I think.
I love that you get to be a generic anime person.
Yeah, look at all these different faces, not one
a Pokemon.
Not one. I mean, not well. These
one
are
distinct.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the switching characters. Look at this.
Oh, that doesn't look like anything to me. What are you complaining about?
You're not.
But I mean, it's stupid, but it's obviously the way they made the game, not because of the Switch. I guarantee you it has something to do with the fact that this is also a mobile game. It's just not on mobile for another month or two.
You don't think that this is beyond the pale? Especially because
think it's stupid.
You have to move over to a character like this to like select them, and if someone gets there first, then you lose. It's also maybe a little bit faster now that it's docked.
That does suck.
Yeah.
These are all the Pokemons you can be, huh?
These are all the ones that I have access to.
Oh, okay.
It is like Heroes of the Storm in that they give
tough.
you a percentage of them. It gives you a percentage of them in a rotation for free that change, and then.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're wondering who Zeraora is?
Yeah.
Zeraora is is the Celebi of Sword and Shield.
Cool.
I also didn't know who Zeraora was. Zeraora has grown on me. I saw it and I was like, great, another stupid, standing on two legs furry Pokemon.
Yeah, that is what I'm thinking.
But I like Zeraora now.
Okay.
And this, I mean, it seemed...
Maybe this is just me, but I also get a sense of like, you said it's the Celebi of the thing. And I never cared about Celebi, but Celebi, like Mew, was like a rare Pokemon that was,
a mythic
it was hard
Pokemon.
It was a mythic Pokemon that was hard to get. It was special if you had it, but now you can just be Zeraora.
No,
in the Pokemon
Zeraora.
MOBA.
Well, yes, but Zeraora was like a special week 1 bonus for this game.
Keith,
yes,
you're a Charmander.
I'm a Charmander.
You're not a Charizard yet.
No, you do evolve, and look at the
slaps.
the fire breathing animation. I think is really cute. So we're doing our special moves there. So this is what you do at the beginning of a MOBA, is you get points by killing the little guys. We meant to play this together, but Kylie gave her Switch to her daughter to borrow.
Yeah, I literally was like looking for my Switch.
Okay,
and,
I'm gonna get killed.
The day after my daughter had been at my house, I was looking for my Switch and couldn't find it. And then I got a text from Nick with like a picture of my Switch and was like, "Is this your Switch?" And I was like, "Yes." I don't know how this happened.
Fuck.
So yeah, it was like 2 a.m. last night, and I was like, "Oh god damn it! I have to wake up for Snooze button, and also I need to install Pokemon Unite, and also I should probably play it a little bit to learn how to play it." And then my whole world came crashing down around me when I realized I would not be able to partake. because I've gotten less into MOBAs than you have.
And I've barely gotten into MOBAs. I don't like them.
I still generally have, you know, I'm not saying I don't think I have ever played one enough to say that I like it as a genre, but I'm definitely interested in it as a genre.
I'm gonna move. Fuck.
Ah! What did you do?
I just tried to move my Switch slightly closer to the door because I'm getting...
That's a Galarian Ninetales.
Yes, it is. So what we're going to see, I can already tell, this game has two ways that it goes. You either totally blow out the other team or they totally blow you out.
Yeah, that's MOBAs.
I feel like it's not MOBAs. It is not my experience with Heroes of the Storm anyway. And I feel like it's a deep flaw of this game.
Well, I'll say this. It is 100% the thing that I have always heard about League and Dota. And I haven't heard that about Heroes of the Storm, but you're the only person I hear talk about that game. So... you're right. I see that as the deepest flaw of the genre, is that it's always a blowout.
Yeah, and so I could be wrong, but I think this is about to be a blowout against us.
Yeah, I presume that these battles are rather quick because
10 minutes, 10-minute time limit.
That's what Pokemon wants to do. In Dota, it's like you have to do 45 minutes where you're getting blown out the entire time.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm pretty good at this game so far. Like, I won all of my first, 10 matches. But I can just tell...
You're playing against babies.
I can just tell that they're better right off the bat. I'm like... They're coordinated. No one is down here with me. I'm all alone. Even though I'm not really overextending, they're still getting up on me. Also, I'm having problems with my controller.
Oh no!
I think it's because my Switch is behind me on the floor.
Yep, that'll do it for sure.
Yeah,
I forgot this. I wanted to bring this up when we were talking about the Switch Pro thing. Hey, you know what would get me to buy a new Switch? Fix the fucking Joy-Cons. How about that? You know?
Yeah.
I'm not buying a new Switch until they're
God
we
damn
fix
it.
the Joy-Cons. Sorry, folks. Keith is just having a heated gaming moment.
How did he kill me so fast? How do they do that? This is the experience of getting blown out in a MOBA is they're almost dead, and when you're almost dead, you die right away. But somehow when they're almost dead, they still kill you.
Yep. Oof. Oof-a-doof. I mean, so... This person's bar is orange? Does that just mean they're an enemy?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
How was he gaining life while I was attacking him in my territory? How is that even happening?
Maybe Lucario has a heal move?
No, Lucario does not have a heal move.
Okay. Oh, that's the Fire Blast. I know that one. Yeah, baby!
Check me out.
A flying Charizard,
I'm
no
a flying
less.
Charizard.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
After this match, I'm gonna have to try and reposition this Switch so that it is not behind me, because I'm trying to attack and it's not working, and trying to change direction and it's not going. Here we go. This is how you score. So you're gaining XP by doing all the stuff, killing enemies, killing the little grunts all around, but then you actually have to score on their turf.
Huh.
And then the more you score on their turf, the deeper you have to go into their turf.
Oh. And so how do you score? How come I noticed you only did it once.
I scored all of the points that I had all at the same time.
Oh, so you build up points and you can score them, or I'm guessing you lose them if you die.
Yeah, you lose a percentage of them when you die.
Okay.
Where's that Lucario? Maybe I should just go up top because the Lucario is just killing me. Or maybe I'm killing Lucario now.
Hell yeah! You're a Charizard now.
No, I'm gonna die.
Get out of there.
Nope, I died.
No!
I died.
Should have pulled
This is a rough
back.
one. Oh, it doesn't tell you the score as far as I can tell. There's no way to know who's winning. It will tell you periodically, like, we're ahead by a lot, or like we're struggling to keep up.
Honestly,
and that's all that it ever says, because that's the only thing that's ever true, is either you're ahead by a lot or you're struggling to keep up.
Honestly, I think that's
We're
smart.
in the lead. Okay.
Especially, I can tell you from fucking playing Among Us with children in the room with me, but then I presume also most of the people we're playing with online are children, that like they will just leave at the drop of a hat. They have no compunctions at all about like sticking around for the sake of not being a rude dickwad.
So this game has what they call fair play points, and if you quit in the middle of a game, you lose a percentage of your points. And I don't know what happens. Maybe you get like banned or relegated to not being able to play matches until that gets back up. I don't really know what it is, but it does say like when you log back in, like you've lost 5 fair play points if you've like quit or been kicked for inactivity.
You know, I played Warcraft 3 for like a few minutes, like a week or two ago. I think that the BattleNet launcher was like, hey, you can download Warcraft 3 Reforged for free. And I was like, oh, okay. I heard that wasn't a good remake, but if it's free, yeah, I'll download it. And then it turns out that what it actually is you can download it for free, but for free it only lets you play the original Warcraft 3 with the original graphics, and you have to like pay $30 if you want the good graphics. Very cool of them. But it is just amazing to me to see how, like, this is Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
In essence, like, these MOBAs never stopped being Warcraft 3. It's kind of interesting.
In what way? What do you mean? Come on.
Well, just that, like, it's like it is an RTS perspective, but you have one main hero. And I always thought it was interesting how the thing they said about the development of Warcraft 3 was that they wanted it to be an RPG, or they wanted it to be an RPG with light RTS mechanics, and that the more they kept iterating the game and pushing it towards what they thought made it the most fun, it just became more and more of an RTS and less of an RPG.
Right.
Until it was just an RTS that had hero units in them. What I think was interesting was that, like, so Defense of the Ancients was a user-made game mode for Warcraft 3 that took out all the RTS elements and made it just basically like a competitive RPG or something. I just think it's really interesting that even though they didn't really succeed, like Blizzard didn't succeed at what they set out to do with Warcraft 3, it was like the community succeeded for them in a way.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I think, didn't you win? Did you win
we
this?
just won. Yeah, we just won.
Nice.
It was close. This is maybe my second or third close match ever.
Wow.
Yeah. And I ended up not doing too bad despite getting killed by that Lucario 4 times.
Yeah. So maybe we can see that maybe there is potential
Look
for
at that.
some amount
See,
of
the XP leader got 73, I got 71.
Is your name Ungar?
Yeah.
That's just like your online handle?
I just had to pick something, and I was like, what's... I went through 3 or 4 things that were already taken, and I was like, I'm probably going to play a lot of Gengar, so I was like, Ungar, like Gengar and Unguard.
Oh, I just thought it was, I thought it was a reference to your favorite Star Wars character and favorite Simon Pegg role, Ungar Plutt.
Who? What?
I think it might have been Unkar Plutt, but yeah.
I don't know who that is.
The 1/4 portion guy.
This is not
No?
helping. No, this is not
No?
helping. No.
You know in Force Awakens, you might have heard Star Wars and thought I was talking about real Star Wars. I'm talking about The Force Awakens. There's a big alien that's like 1/4 portion. He runs the scrap and he gives out food.
I have
ration
not seen that movie
portions
since the week it came out in theaters.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What?
Yeah, we've talked about
Alright,
this. I've
dude.
only seen Force Awakens one time.
Get out of here.
It's true.
It's not as. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
The penumbrance at Zapdos is a huge swing, and no one got it. Yeah, it's actually rare that no one got the Zapdos, but when the Zapdos spawned, they were doing a push, and so we had to do that instead. And then I think we just all wanted to deposit that XP instead of doing the Zapdos. It's like a big boss in the middle, the Zapdos. I'm Venusaur this time. No Blastoise. Here's another thing about this game and why it's underbaked. Is
Simon Pegg got in a whole suit for Unkar Plut.
I moved the Switch closer, so I think this should help. It was not that far away, but it was behind me, so I don't know how that affects things.
You're a Bulby? You're a Bulby now?
I'm a little Bulby.
You got Razor Leaf, you got Seed Bomb.
Bulbasaur is a ranged attacker. What was I talking about? The other way that it's, there's like not a lot of Pokemon to start out with, and it's like you guys have 900 Pokemon. Like maybe you should have a few more things at launch.
Keith, I think we know that this game is not about the launch. This game is about that long, long tail.
Yeah,
and they are going to be releasing new Pokemon for this game for eons.
But they could have had 30 Pokemon to start out with and still been able to release Pokemon for eons. Because they're going to keep making Pokemon.
Yeah, but is it not better that they make something balanced rather than with a bazillion Pokemon?
Yeah, but I guess this is what I mean by underbaked. Like, if you can't have 30 Pokemon at the start and still be balanced, that's underbaked to me.
Sure. Oh, yeah, because you started, before we did the show, you were like, it's fun, but I don't like it, or it's something like that.
No,
like, I like
it's
it, but
it's underbaked, but I am having fun anyway. Like, this is the second best MOBA I've ever played after Heroes of the Storm. But it's just like clearly not.
Heroes of the Storm still exists, right? They didn't like.
No, Heroes of the Storm still exists, but they did sort of stop supporting it. They said like we're not really supporting this anymore.
Right. I was trying to remember like what was the death that.
And it's not a good. It is not a good month for Activision Blizzard right now. We didn't talk about it because it didn't. You didn't hear about this?
No.
There was a report that came out about California's investigation into some really, really heinous serial harassment and assault at Activision Blizzard. Some like deeply structural and really, really heinous misogyny.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really bad.
Wow, that sounds really bad.
It's really bad. I mean, it's startlingly bad.
It's like, it sounds so bad I don't want to ask because it sounds like we don't want to talk about it right now.
I just like, it was so bad that I was like, I don't want to have to read about this, and so I don't have a lot of details.
Right.
Except for like some cursory stuff, like.
Okay.
But it's bad.
Maybe I'll find out more about it, and then if we have something to say about it, we can do that.
The thing that I have to say about it is that it's so bad that this not coming out until now means that I think that the rest of the industry as a whole is even worse than I think people have thought.
Right.
I think that people have known about these issues. I know that people have known about these issues in the video game industry for a really long time, and the fact that this was not so far beyond the pale that everyone already was talking about it means that it was not worth commenting on for people.
This isn't even the first time. Well, I guess I don't know if this is coming more from the Activision or Blizzard side, but this isn't even the first time that Blizzard has been under fire for like misogynist practices or whatever.
Yeah, so we would talk about it if I had more details on it, but I just sort of was like, I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah.
We're not a news site. Get your news from a news site. But just also know that it's really bad. If you don't want to hear about it, then
yeah, that's kind of my thing. I'm trying to figure out how to say, like, we're not gonna talk about this, but not because like it's still important, but just I don't think Run Button is the venue for stuff that's gonna be legitimately depressing.
I think it can be, but I am not
You're
the
right.
vessel for that this month. I cannot be the vessel for the most depressing news story in video games.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
But so that is another reason why I'm sort of talking about Heroes of the Storm as a past tense thing. We just sort of, I think, subconsciously that. Come on, buddy. This stupid bird that I like barely know what it is supposed to be one of the best Pokemon in the game right now, and this is the first time that I'm seeing it, and it really hits hard.
Oh, I'll be that. Wait.
Oh my god! Fuck! Why are they all up here? That's another thing. Is like, have you ever played a game and you're like, I'm losing because the other team doesn't know how to play, and so they're accidentally doing something that's working? Where it's like, everyone knows that there shouldn't be four of them up there at the same time, and I'm only dying because there's four of them up there. Fuck. This is another thing. Another problem is that just sort of this is a mouse and keyboard game. Like genre, it's a mouse and keyboard genre. It sort of always has been.
I was kind of like hoping there was going to be a PC version.
Yeah, no, there totally isn't. I just assumed when I heard there was a Pokemon MOBA that there was a PC version. There is not. And it was kind of like I was sort of pleasantly surprised that it kind of works, but then also there's things about it that are like the auto attack for like the auto target for your moves sometimes will just like snap to something you don't want it to snap to right as you try to fire it off. And you can aim like this, right? Or like this, but when there's a hero in target, it's supposed to auto target it, and then see sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it'll
would
snap
imagine
to a little guy.
I would imagine that even though this came out on Switch first, I would imagine it was developed sort of primarily as a mobile game. I suppose if you can tap on them, it's probably easier to target. But of course, you're not able to show us what it looks like when you play with the touchscreen because
I don't know. I don't think it's touch screenable on the Switch.
Oh no!
I don't know. It certainly isn't in the menu. I tried to do that in the menus and it didn't work.
Oh,
so I just kind of assume that it's not touch screenable like that.
Yeah, sorry. Why would I expect? Why would I expect a Nintendo game that's also a mobile game to have touch controls on their system with a touch screen? That was silly of me. Oh wait, there's two Lucarios.
Yeah, there's one on each team.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. So I think most MOBAs are like one.
Yeah,
total.
there's not enough characters in the game to do that.
Oh, really?
There's only like 12 characters.
That's enough.
Fuck. I haven't been able to score because I haven't been able to. We're winning, but like I haven't done anything.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, your FPS is at 59. Oh wait, it's 47. Oh, that's back to 60. That's surprising. They show your FPS on screen.
What a goal!
Yeah, it kind of is. Do you see my little Venusaur outfit?
Yeah, I hate it.
They gave it to me for free. You hate it?
Yeah, great.
It's a beach Venusaur.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it. It's a fucking... Well, okay. Maybe this is too cruel, but I was gonna call it a John Lasseter Venusaur.
Like the
stupid Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, does he wear a lot of Hawaiian shirts?
He only wears Hawaiian shirts.
Well, he can afford it.
Right, yeah. A new Hawaiian shirt every day.
I thought we were winning, but I guess we're not. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, so why would I assume that we're winning? We had destroyed more of their gates at the time, I thought.
It's okay, Keith. I believe in you.
What a goal! What a goal!
Oh yeah, now we are now losing by a lot.
Yeah, I don't believe in you as much as I did before. John Lasseter is another sex creep, by the way.
Oh yeah?
In case you didn't know.
I actually didn't know. This is actually almost the first time that I've played against this, like, oh wow, this is rough.
Get that giant fucking lobster. I want you to fucking destroy that crayfish.
Got him.
Owned.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
What?
I thought, there was a Lucario that scored 100 at the very end, and I thought that it was their, yeah. I thought that it was their Lucario, but as you can see, it was our Lucario that scored 100 right at the very end.
Ooh,
I didn't
like
do
line
anything.
grab.
I was really.
Oh wow, yeah, that was a comeback.
Yeah,
That's
it was
really-
our
see-
our Gengar and our Lucario and our Snorlax scored 100 all at the very end.
That line graph is really nice.
Yeah, it's great.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like this. I will play this game.
It's fun. It's totally fun. I mean, it's not good enough. Like, it's the same thing that Nintendo and Pokemon are always doing, where I'm like, this isn't good enough. This isn't as good as I expect from you, but still, I really like it and I will play it.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I mean, I guess the fact that it's also a mobile game makes me think it's not made by Nintendo. And the fact that it has an FPS counter on screen makes me certain that it wasn't made by Nintendo.
My impression is that Nintendo is sort of a helicopter parent.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, people in the chat, tell me how the audio sounds. We're doing audio a whole new way.
Let me go listen. Sounds pretty good to me.
Great. Love that.
I sound too quiet.
Okay. How about now?
Let's see. Probably good.
Probably
it kind
good?
of cut out
Okay.
right at the moment. I
Oh,
was
well, we're
trying to
talking
hear,
now,
but-
so you can go back and listen to this part.
Oh, yeah, we are talking right now. Zeraora, huh?
Yeah. I thought that I should maybe do like a bunch of different kinds of
Still too quiet.
yeah, okay. I'll bump you up.
Oh, you are a Zeraora.
Yeah. I bought a few characters because I was like, well,
Oh,
it's
you
always-
have to buy these characters.
no, Zeraora they gave me. Have I played a character that I had to buy yet? Who was the first person that I played? Charizard? No, I have not played a character that I bought. You can buy, so like I bought one character with money and I bought one character with in-game currency. But I was like, the beginning of one of these, the best time to buy coins because they always be like, we'll give you double. You know? Oh.
Yes, but also they're always saying that. Thinking that the beginning is
so
the
this
best
is-
time to buy is exactly what they want you to think.
Whatever. I'm going to play it enough to justify
Yeah,
20
you're playing
bucks.
it right now. Oh, listen, all they have to do is add Arcanine to that store. You'll give them any price they ask.
So this is the sort
True
of
or
thing.
false?
It's not
come
just.
on, don't ignore.
No, I'm fighting. I'm fighting
Oh.
characters.
Did you hear me? Or-
Yes. I will buy the Arcanine when it comes out.
Okay. That's all.
Sorry, I'm having controller trouble again, where I was
Okay,
trying to attack and it just wasn't attacking.
Ooh. Look at that. I think you guys just take out like 3 of them in a row, or
No,
some of these
those
are
were
creeps.
grunts. Those were. See, look at
Okay.
that. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like changing direction and it's like not working. Like if you can see the stuttering there, like I don't know. I don't know if it's lag because I'm as far away from my router as I can be in my house, and I assume the Switch has just like a worse wireless thing than the Xbox does.
Huh. Well, it definitely doesn't have the greatest Wi-Fi. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it's sort of like, I don't know. I just wish I could take it out of the dock and move it further away with like a longer thing. And
What do you mean?
just like real quick, take it out of the dock and plug it into an HDMI that's further away, and like leave it on its side. It's just harder to move the the dock around.
You are you like saying you wish you had one of those like dockless dock solution things where it's just a cable you plug into the Switch and then it's giving you the dock functions, or
Yes. Uh-oh.
did we mention you can dock the Steam whatever the hell that thing is?
Can you?
That's something. Yeah, you can dock the Steam Deck.
Steam Dock.
Yeah, there you go, Steam Dock.
But yeah, Zero Aura is fun. Zero Aura, the thing is, like, you are very mobile. You do a lot of jumping around.
Long Shorts has you in the chat. Long Shorts says, Arcanine, the legendary Pokemon. I know.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arcanine. That's what I want.
I just feel like it's time for Arcanine to get their due.
Yeah, listen. Pokemon Legends Arceus takes place in the past. And the only appropriate thing to do is to make the next one take place even in the more past. Because it should be about how Arcanine was like the first legendary Pokemon.
Right. Unfortunately,
This is what Arcanine deserves.
Unfortunately, there is no way to square the circle of the Pokemon mythology, because it's just like every Pokemon was the first Pokemon that invented the
Right.
time in the skies and the sea.
Not in my Pokemon. Dude, do you know they remade the Mewtwo movie?
I think that I heard that.
There's a full 3D remake of Pokemon the first movie, minus the Pikachu's Vacation thing. It's fucking weird as hell, man.
Why would you minus Pikachu's Vacation?
I don't know. It's like the Misty doesn't even seem. Misty's like a different character.
What do you mean?
Like, she just doesn't seem to be Misty. She seems more like generic anime girl who's going to move and pose just like all the modern anime girls do. You know how they do? I don't know. Anime sucks now, man. I don't know what happened.
Animes always suck. That's what people like about it.
Okay, but follow me on this one though, Keith. I think the media that I consumed when I was young is better than the media that young people consume now. Does that make sense? I think
that does
my
make sense.
childhood was the correct childhood. Is this resonating?
Yeah, that's
Does this
doing
make
it
any
for
sense?
me. That's doing it. That's hitting all my buttons.
Yeah. The Mewtwo is good though. I mean, what's funny is it's practically like the same script. So you do still have Mewtwo like soliloquizing about how he's mad at his parents.
I want to talk about what's happening in the game real quick, which is that despite having accumulated the maximum amount of points that I can carry, I have not been able to get anywhere close to their goal to turn in these 30 points in like 4 minutes. So I have yet to score. So I'm going to sneak up here and score on this goal instead, or I would have. Oh, he's gonna. Great.
Zoe in the chat responds to what I said, saying based and boomer pilled, and this is exactly what I'm talking about.
I hate this game. What? Kylie, tell me about your thing.
Sorry, Zoe says based and boomer pilled, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody used to say this stuff, and now everything's based and everything's a pill, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Based doesn't even mean anything. What does it mean?
It's okay. It's just stupid memes.
I know.
It doesn't mean any. They're like actually defending, and I'm just like, you're playing wrong. You're playing wrong by actually defending.
I was in Micro Center the other day. I was sort of like I was browsing before going to get my pickup, and I heard somebody. I couldn't tell if it was a salesperson or like I couldn't tell if it was an employee. I'm sure they don't get commission. God forbid.
Yeah. And God do forbid it.
Yeah. Oh, he absolutely does. I couldn't tell if it was a sales a store employee or if it was like the customer's loud-mouthed friend who was also helping them pick out keyboards or something. Basically, they're looking at a wall of mice, and some guy's like, "Yeah, this is Deece. Yeah, that's pretty Deece. That's a Deece mouse." And I'm just like, I can't.
We said Deece in high school. I mean, I didn't.
You
but
did?
Kids in my high school did.
Oh, sorry, your high school sucked.
All high schools suck. So.
Shit. Owned.
Yeah. Actually, thinking your high school was better than another high school is the lamest thing a high school can do.
Damn.
What a goal!
Actually, the thing I did like about my high school is there did not seem to be an excess of douchebags at my high school. Everyone at my high school was reasonably chill.
That is true of the second high school that I went to. We're so far behind. So this is what happens in a MOBA is you get behind on levels and then you just can't beat another player. So there's just nothing you can do. I haven't been able to score the whole game. I have not been able to get to one of their goals, like to score, which is rough.
Now I can't tell if Zoe is trying to, is trying to like age the language they're trying to move back, and they say, yeah, that's a tight mouse. Yeah, that mouse is hella. Now, are they just using hella wrong, or is that how people use hella now?
This is, I think, a historical usage of hella.
What?
Yes, it's the same thing as how the precursor to Bostonians calling something wicked awesome was just calling it wicked.
Oh, sure, okay.
Yeah.
No!
Yes.
Because hella...
Yeah.
That's how hella was used. Wouldn't say hella good, you'd just say hella. Bay Area shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's where it came from, so I guess they got the early version.
Yeah.
All right, interesting.
That sucked. That was the worst match I've ever had in my life of any game.
Huh.
Look at that. 0. Look at my 0 there. I wasn't even playing bad. I had 4 assists. I had the most assists of anyone.
Yeah, Oddesk is right. That's hella pog. Can't believe that.
Yeah. I just think it's what happens is that let's just be loose with our terminology and say that people have always been doing memes, right? Whether memes are just pre-meme slang that you say at your stupid high school, or whether they're online memes that are traditional memes. People have always been doing memes, and the difference between being cool when you're young and being cool when you're old is when you're young, you think that memes suck and you know why the memes are happening, and when you're old, you still think they suck and you go, I don't understand what's happening, but I still think this sucks. And then you go, I don't understand because I'm old, but it's really that you just think it sucks because it does.
No.
Yeah, this is true. Calling the mouse, you didn't understand why they were calling the mouse Dees, and you thought, but you did think that it was weird and sucked. I understood why my high school friends were calling things Dees.
Excuse me. I know why they were calling the mouse Dees. It's because it was a decent mouse.
No, that's not what I mean. You were not attached to the culture that was calling things Dees, and so it was a foreign slang.
Yeah.
To you.
Keith, I'm just shit talking. I know how language works.
But you...
I'm not actually mad.
No, but I'm not saying that we were talking about... You can't just introduce a topic and then not have me discuss it because I'm like, yeah, okay. We're going to talk about it. Right? You introduced it as a topic of discussion, right?
Sure.
I'm not accusing you of not understanding anything.
You literally said you didn't understand why.
No,
those were the words
it's
you
a
used.
different form of understand.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not saying that you were. When someone speaks French,
is this
and
loaded?
you don't know?
This is the load?
Yes.
Jeez.
This is what I'm talking about.
That's rough.
When someone speaks French and they say a word that you don't understand, you know it's French, but you still don't understand the word. And if I say, well, you didn't understand it, and you go, yeah, I understood that it was French, it's like, that's not what I mean by you didn't understand it.
But there wasn't any part of that story that I didn't understand.
It's not what I mean by understand.
My story was...
I'm not saying that you don't know what's happening.
All right.
Fuck. I guess I'm confused what you think I was saying you don't understand.
I still don't know what you're saying.
I will repeat the base claim that I was making, which is I think that people tend to go, I don't like or understand this slang because I'm old now, when a lot of those people didn't like the weird memes that their peers were making at the time. And it's not about being old, it's just that some people don't like memes. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Lucario is very similar to Zeraora, but is, I think, easier to play. There's a lot of like, you're able to like push people away from you, which is really useful.
Clerica Berica asking me to now imagine a generation of youngins learning English by watching VTubers. Sorry, that's already happening. I don't have to imagine that. That's right now.
Yeah, that's why people say things like, I mean, the I'm no expert, but when I learned what based meant, it meant something different than what it means now. I don't really have a good grasp on what people mean when they say it in 2021.
That does drive me nuts. I hate when I mean, words will just change meaning. That's what happens to words. Drives me nuts when people then will never remember the old meaning.
Yes.
They'll be like, hey, remember when we used to use this word to mean this other thing? And people will be like, no.
Right. And not for nothing, I feel like a lot of when words change like that, the new meaning is worse. Like I've seen a lot of people use red pilled as slang for like actually understand. Okay, so this one's complicated because this one started off. This is a Matrix thing, but for the last 10 years, Red Pilled has been like a men's rights thing about men's rights activists learning that the world is run by women or something.
Yeah, when you get red pilled, it's when you realize that actually it's the men who are discriminated against, I guess.
Are being culturally cucked by women.
Sure. Yeah, it's when you realize that actually our culture is too feminist and it's anti-men.
Right. And so I've seen a lot of people just saying like, no, being red pilled just means you're cool. And it's like, how did this happen?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's really bad. And it's like, how did it happen that this switch, like the biggest losers in the world, the men's rights people, how did they get that slang to work for them?
Literally memes.
Yeah, and it is just memes because memes are bad. Memes are inherently reactionary.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is that like red-pilled in a sense, for, you know, like going back to the Matrix origin of it, like it is meant to mean like you're someone in the know who knows what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not even necessarily wrong to use it to mean cool, but it's definitely wrong to use it that way after it was co-opted by meninists for years and years and
for
years.
a long time.
A long time. And I mean, it still is.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it didn't stop. Like, they're still using it to mean that. How are they healing themselves? I don't understand. I haven't seen this before. I'm like doing damage to character. They're just like, I'm like, I don't know. I have not played as Alola and Ninetales, so I don't know. I don't know their moveset. But I feel like I keep attacking people and they keep just like regaining their health. I've played this character. I know that you don't do that.
Huh.
Maybe I should just kill them faster. But Champ is the worst.
Antacid Canada asks, serious question for Run Button. Yeah. How do y'all feel about opening videos with the phrase, "Hey guys, it is so common that it's uncool?" Question mark. I know that this is a thing that like people someone out there started to get driven crazy by the fact that YouTube videos so often start with "Hey guys." I'm not sure I get it. It just seems like a normal thing to say at the start of a video.
Has this been coming up? Is this like something that people have been talking about? I have not.
I don't think recently.
Okay.
But you know, you'll see like supercuts. You know, it'll be like, here's a supercut of every video beginning with "Hey guys" or whatever. And like, I don't know, it's just I mean I guess if you don't want to use the word "guys," that's one thing, but I don't see, it never bothered me, I guess, is the thing. It's not like, you know, it's not like I start a video and I'm like, another video that starts with "Hey guys." I just feel like I've been addressed. I think you could start with "Hey everyone" is a better option.
I don't think we ever start a video like that.
Almost certainly. We must have dozens.
Sorry, I don't mean ever, but I don't think I have recently been doing it.
No.
Tough game. This is a tough game. MOBAs are hard to play.
Maybe I just don't watch a lot of videos that say "Hey guy." I've never been a vlog watcher. I bet if you watch a lot of vlogs, you're like, start your vlog some other way, please.
Yeah, I also don't watch a vlog. You watch video essays, and that's the sort of video that would start with "Hey guys."
Paradox Persona says, "Hey all, And I don't know if they're contributing to the conversation or literally they just got here and they're saying hey.
Oh,
But
okay.
either way, it works.
Yeah, it does work. Hey, all is fine.
Oh God. Who are they responding to?
What's going on?
There's jokes happening. I'm trying to. Okay. Odesk says, okay. Men's rights people don't know what a metaphor is.
No.
Rhododendron says, if a tree fell in the metaforest, would an MRA get what it means? Odesk says, they'd miss the metaforest for the meta trees. And that was the thing I was trying to track down in the chat.
Oh, okay.
We got it.
Got it. It was about the men's rights.
It was an @ chain, and I had to go to the beginning to see where it started, and I was like, no, it's just about men's rights still. Well. Rhododendron says, truly a sin, ectachy. Wow, it's going,
that one's a reach.
It's
You reached.
I mean, it was all a reach to begin with.
God, it's kind of okay. I know that this is like everything, but I feel like Lucario is an early fan favorite character.
Lucario is an eternal fan favorite.
But I feel like Lucario is just barely skirts the like every important Pokemon is a furry now thing, and it's sort of
Wait,
like
it skirts it? What do you mean?
It comes in before the cutoff of.
Oh, you mean it was the progenitor of?
Yes. Well, it skirts the line. That's the saying.
Oh, see, to me, it's like Lucario single-handedly destroyed Pokemon.
No. It's the thing that comes after Lucario that destroys it.
And what's that?
Because Lucario, I don't know. Because Lucario is good. I love Lucario.
Oh, I despise him.
Why? But do you only despise him based on everything that comes? Because Lucario is just Lucario until 10 other things come out that are just Lucario.
No, I don't think I knew Lucario until it was in whatever Smash it was in, like Brawl.
Great character to Brawl.
Brawl, yeah. Like, was just like, from the beginning, Smash was like, this is a character. This is a Pokemon. Its name is Lucario. And I was like, I'm disgusted by this. This design is so awful.
No, Lucario was cool when Lucario was first in a game. Lucario's, pre-evolution is really cute and fun. And then it's a Psychic Steel type, which is also... No, sorry, it's a Fighting Steel type. And it was like a cool cross type. But it can know Psychic moves also.
Okay.
And so it was like this cool cross type thing that starts off really cool and then becomes like a fox thing. And it's like, this is fun. And then they were like, wow, Lucario, everyone likes Lucario. What if every important Pokemon that we make from now on is a Lucario? And I feel like it's fine to have a Lucario. It's just that Lucario's influence has had an outsized effect on Pokemon design. We're about to see a grave sin. We're about to watch We're about to watch Pokemon Unite commit a grievous sin.
Oh, jeez.
An infinite sin, if you will.
Oh, wow, because of the infinite nature of God.
Right, because of the infinite nature of God, and then the, inevitable infinite nature of sin.
Right. That logically follows from God.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, Odesk makes a good point, but I'm going to focus on the Pikachu here. I don't think the Lucario one is as egregious, but it's close.
Okay, so what am I about to be scandalized by?
Well, we're going to start off as Pikachu, and then in a few minutes, I will ask you I will ask you a question, and then you can tell me if you've seen.
Okay.
Anytime you've got a guess, you can throw that out there too.
All right. Huh. So
Don't look at the chat. They're giving it away in the chat.
I'm not going to look at the chat. So I'm supposed to just watch and figure out what it is you hate about it.
Yes.
Okay. I do have to go to the bathroom real quick.
That's fine. But you can go to the bathroom 4 times. It still won't be loaded. Jesus Christ. These loading times are miserable.
Ready, go!
Just getting our early XP in.
I'm back.
Nice. We got an early Bulbasaur. Pikachu is, by the way, a really good character in this.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
They made Pikachu good, huh?
Yeah, they made Pikachu good.
Okay, now...
Everyone is up here. Why are you doing this?
Well, Keith, it's good to team up. Look how you're smoking them.
Yeah, but now they're down there smoking us. Down there. I'm gonna go down there.
Now, so this thing that you consider a sin,
Yeah.
I will definitely say one thing I noticed as soon as I saw the loading screen is
Right.
that because I could tell by the fact that it was showing your selected character as Pikachu and not Raichu, that this Pikachu cannot evolve.
Yes. You've got
Is
it.
that's it?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, bud. That I never even considered that to be in the cards. We all know that Pikachu's a Pikachu's a Pikachu.
It's a crime. It's a crime against Pikachu. It's a crime
Pikachu.
against Raichu.
Yeah, it is. It's a crime against Raichu. Absolutely.
The implication that Pikachus don't like to evolve flies against the very thing that gives that choice impact in the Pokemon anime.
Now, I wouldn't say that I don't think I interpret this as Pikachus in general not liking to evolve. I just interpret it as Nintendo
wanting their mascot.
Either this is Ash's Pikachu, or they think I just interpret it as the Pokemon Company thinks I don't want a Raichu. Incorrect.
Absolutely incorrect. What? But then, okay, but what about this? So, you know who's in this game? Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff becomes Wigglytuff 2 minutes into the match, right?
What?
Nobody gives a fuck about Wigglytuff, right? Everyone loves Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is the fan favorite of the two.
Yeah, now, again, I would say I care about Wigglytuff, but only
Same.
in that Raichu sense where it's like you don't see them that often and no one talks about them.
Right. And they're cool. It's a cool Pokemon. I like
It's cool. I mean,
but it's,
I like the name more than anything.
oh, yeah, it's a great name.
And now I've finally fixed my microphone stand, and I'm standing now. If
On
there's-
purpose, you're standing now? Or
Yeah. I had to stand up because this fucking my stupid body. I'm in this room all day. I'm in this room all the time. I'm not lonely or sad. Don't check up on me. But it's only when we're recording that, like, my body just sweats profusely. My clothes are wet and smelly, Keith.
Why?
And all we've been doing is exactly. Why indeed? All we do is talk about Nintendo. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? That's not strenuous.
And this is while my AC is running.
Which it shouldn't be, because you're recording.
But I have to be, because I'm sweating so much.
Can't pick those up.
I am hot, even though I'm in an air-conditioned room. I hate this. I don't want this. I want this out, Keith.
I'm starting to think that Cinderace is a really good choice.
What is that?
That is the Fire Bunny from Sword and Shield.
What?
The Fire Bunny, the third evolution starter.
Oh, I didn't realize that I didn't know the name of that Pokemon. Like, I just assumed I would recognize the name of that Pokemon because I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was a. I was furious about the name Score Bunny. I didn't realize there was a soccer aspect to this Pokemon evolutionary line.
Right.
Score makes more sense now.
It's a Scorch Bunny that scores because it's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. It's a triple. It's a double pun.
It's a double entendre.
It would be, I think, a triple entendre because a double entendre would just be one pun.
It's two puns.
Two puns is a triple.
Score and Scorch. No, what?
Yeah.
There's not. What's the third one?
I guess you're right.
I love this. I mean, the inclusion of slam dunks is really, it's inspired, honestly.
It's surprising and it's good.
Yeah. You didn't know you wanted to see a Pikachu do a slam dunk, but holy shit, you so do.
Yeah, you totally do. How do I do? There we go. That's how I do.
Speaking of slam dunks,
like
I'm sure our Space Jam, the something or other new game is going to be out any day now.
Yes, it is.
I should have a new, hopefully we'll have a new Metal Gear episode for patrons. Up tonight.
I've got Digimon coming out and Shenmue coming out.
You didn't even tell me you were,
You were asking me to upload it, but I did tell you when you were here that I was going to edit it, and then when you told me to upload it, I was just like, well, she wants me to upload everything now, even if I'm editing it, so I didn't think twice about it.
Oh, did you upload it?
No.
Oh.
But I will. I am going to. But I wasn't in a rush because I was like, but she knows that I'm editing it, so it's not a big deal.
Well, that was the thing. I didn't know that, and so
Okay.
when I asked and you didn't respond, I was like,
sorry,
well,
yeah, I wasn't home, and I kind of just forgot.
Digimon's coming.
It's actually the opposite of what I usually don't respond. I usually don't respond because I'm home and I don't have my phone. But this time I didn't respond because I was out, and I did have my phone, but I was busy.
You weren't on Discord. Okay.
Don't. Don't breathe fire on me until I die, you jerk. What a big jerk.
My first reaction was like, oh yeah, because that's a Charizard and you're not evolved. But no,
Yeah.
it's just always
He just
that
doesn't
way.
evolve. It's, oh, I wonder why the Charizard beat the Pikachu. I wish the Pikachu could turn into something stronger.
Oh, well, Keith, Pikachu is the most powerful Pokemon in the ever, so... What?
I hate Pokemon. I hate the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah.
The Pokemon franchise hates Pokemon.
Great game, bad franchise.
Great game, bad franchise.
Yeah, that's not even true. The games aren't always great.
Yeah. Yeah. Guess that's true.
It's a little... The Pikachu VO is a little much.
Yeah, no one else gets VO like that. for obvious reason.
Yeah.
Come on. Whoa. That was a big score.
How did it just take so long because there was so many points?
Yes, the
or-
more points you have, the longer it takes to score them.
Cool. I hate the name, I'll say.
Pokemon Unite? Yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, it's like...
Why
it's
is it called Pokemon Unite? It's literally a versus game.
Yeah, it's... What are you... I guess
It's
you're
the-
uniting with the other people on your team against the other
This
team.
Charizard keeps ulting on only me. Why?
Maybe because they recognize you as the best player on your team.
Yeah, I'm a threat. I'm a fucking threat.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I've played only okay today, but I'm also podcasting.
Why is this Charizard picking me out? All I did was an 84-point dunk
Yeah.
2 seconds ago.
Look at that. That is your classic blowout.
Show me that line graph.
We're gonna see it. I wasn't even close to being the best.
Huh.
Yeah, the Cinderace is really good.
Wait, you were close. Can you go back?
Yeah. I can see the score detail. So this is.
So yeah, you were at second.
I was
mean, you weren't
second, but
close.
look at the gulf between second and first.
Sure.
I can show you here too. The best was 92. Me, the second best was 79. Third best 72. So there was like a decent gap between me and the third place still.
Decent,
but
yeah, decent
Decent,
gap.
pretty decent
Decent
gap.
Yeah.
Pretty decent gap. MetaNet.
Wow. Of all the ways I could have seen today going, I didn't expect Keith to come out in defensive Dees.
Pretty decent gap. No, I hate Dees.
okay.
I hate Dees. And do you want to know the one that really drove me crazy?
What?
They would call kids in my school. They would call things dirty, but they would shorten. They would shorten dirty to dird. Dird.
What?
Yeah.
Dur with no T?
It was more like DERD. Dird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna stop at dirty, and I was gonna be like, "Ooh, sorry, I actually love that. That's great."
Yeah. No. Dird.
What the fuck?
It was wild.
Well, I get it's like because dirty, we do like we would pronounce it like DIRDY. So it
Yeah.
is like you're just dropping. It's like you're dropping the D, but not adjusting your pronunciation.
Yeah.
I get it, but that's
Dird.
gross.
See my dirt score on the lax field?
Yeah, that dirt score was hella decent. Keith,
Yeah.
Keith, the play that you just put on was totally based.
I'm a based and red pilled Pikachu.
Based on what?
Based on how fucking good I did. Gonna be Gengar. Gengar's pretty cool.
More like Gangnar, because he's so sick.
Gengar does the
Thanks, long shorts.
Gengar does the same thing in the game that you would do as a Gengar in an actual Pokemon game, where you get something that can apply a status effect and then use Hex to do double damage. It's the same in this game.
Double damage?
Yeah, Hex is a move that does double damage when the Pokemon you're attacking is afflicted with a status condition. And so-
Sorry, I'm gonna need you to go. Ooh, a Garchomp. Go back and just say that again. The Hex thing.
Hex is a move that does double damage when you're attacking a Pokemon that is afflicted with a status condition.
Any status condition?
Yes, any status condition. So if
Wow,
I
that's-
poisoned you and then used Hex, Hex would do double damage.
Wow, that's pretty decent.
It's pretty decent. And this game also has Gengar learns Sludge Bomb, which poisons, and then knows Hex, which it doesn't do double damage, but what it does do is like basically eliminates the cooldown, so you can use it like 3 times in a row. It's very powerful.
Did I tell you that I like earlier this year was doing some like Pokemon Sword and Shield like online versus stuff? I was doing Pokemon PvP.
How's that?
It was fun. I didn't know about the rental team thing.
Do
I didn't realize I didn't realize I could just Google give me a good Pokemon team, and then they would, and then I could just use that team for battles.
Huh.
Yeah. Do you not know about that?
No, I don't know it. Where do you get the team from?
So like any team of Pokemon you create in Sword and Shield, you can then create like an export code for that team, and then anyone in the world can take your code and they will get your exact Pokemon team with those exact moves. So if you want to do versus without building up your own team, you could just go look for someone else's team and use that one. So I had a team with a Galarian. What's the coral Pokemon that's a ghost in Galar?
Corsica?
Corsica. Had a Galarian Corsica.
Corcella? Corsica is a place.
Corsola. Yeah. Corsola. And it had one of the, it was all metagamed up. It had what's the Pokemon with Vicious Rend? The big, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I don't know Vicious Rend.
Hang on.
Is that a move or an ability?
I know what I think the name is, but I don't know if it's the real name or just the nickname that a YouTuber that I happened to be watching gave to theirs.
That's funny.
Yeah, Dracovish with an SH. Dracovish.
Sounds like a vampire fish.
What was he had some like totally sick thing, like he had some like special ability where like you couldn't like switch him out after you put him in, but he did like quadruple damage or something. It was ridiculous.
Damn, that's weird. That sounds pretty good. I mean, quadruple damage sounds almost impossible.
It's not. Yeah, it was definitely not. But it was one of those things where it was like,
ooh, this Bulbasaur does not know how to play.
I'm getting multiple bonuses from different areas.
Oh, are they throwing?
Pokemon be.
Is this Bulbasaur throwing?
Throwing what?
The game?
Shade?
Yeah, shade. Is this Bulbasaur kindly giving shade to his enemy?
You don't think they were like a real timid player that just kind of gave up? They're like, oh, they got me. Forget it. You know what I mean?
I guess that is possible, but how did they even get that deep?
Me, I gotta... Sand Rush.
Bad.
Strong Jaw. Strong Jaw is an ability in Gen 4 that does what? Increases the power of a Pokemon's biting moves by 50%. Yeah, and then I just had like I think it was probably like holding an item that like also powered up its Vicious Rend biting attack. And anyway, Pokemon's are basically, it was just interesting because it was like my first foray into like the Pokemon meta of like of actually having a team that was like built on purpose for their good abilities instead of what I normally have, which is just whatever random shit I took with me through the course of the single player game.
Right. Which is a much different way to play the game.
Yeah, totally different.
What is this Bulbasaur doing? I mean, I know that I just did a good job doing that move, but this Bulbasaur is maybe not playing serious.
Now, Odesk in the chat was saying it was a third Bulbasaur, but I don't It does nothing about what.
Yeah,
we've
it
seen
did not
from
seem
Bulbasaur
dirt
seems
to me.
Particularly dirt to me.
It did not seem dirt to me.
I can't believe this is gonna be like run button slang forever now.
I actually don't know what this move does. I don't know what my... God, Gengar is just nuts.
Yo, that
hey, can
Gengar
someone-
is Keith. That Gengar is filthy.
Okay, I have a big ask for... I need the chat and
ask.
Kylie to participate here.
Oh.
I need someone to look up... Oh, Kylie, actually, you can just do this. I don't need the chat's help for this.
Yeah.
Look up what my ultimate move does as Gengar in this.
I have to sit down for this, so I can't talk to you anymore.
Okay, that's fine. It's called a Unite move, if that helps.
That does help. I'm not wearing my glasses. I should have had my glasses on this whole time.
Yeah, you should have.
Wait, what is this? Wait, oh, maybe this is just already a site for MOBA character builds, but I found a link that was like Pokemon Unite Gengar builds. I was like, what builds? Are there builds in this game?
Yeah. You pick between. You have. You have basically like when you get a new move, you have two moves you can pick between. So you usually have two choices of two.
Sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Ah, Pokemon Unite Gengar is an A-tier speedster with an expert difficulty to play.
Disagree. Gengar's easy.
Dang. I move. Will-O-Wisp, Lick, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Dream Eater, Hex, Phantom Ambush. Is it Phantom Ambush?
Let's say yes.
Okay, this is somehow this page that's trying to be incredibly helpful is not telling me the one thing I want to know about Gengar.
What does Phantom Ambush do?
I also couldn't find anywhere that would tell me that. Hey, let's check the chat. Does the chat know? Phantom Ambush has the user jump to... Thank you, Carver Marbus. Phantom Ambush has the user jump to the designated area and allows them to start sneaking with increased movement speed. If used again, deals damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect and decreases their movement speed for a short time.
Wait, read that again?
Phantom Ambush will make you jump to the designated area and allows you to start sneaking with increased movement speed. If you use it again, it deals damage to an opposing Pokemon in the area of effect and decreases their movement speed for a short time. So it sounds like it is a move for jumping in on an enemy and then doing the attack to them again and they get damaged.
Got it. That's fair. That makes sense. I could see how that would be true.
I'm getting real Druid Cat vibes off of this because, of course, I have been playing World of Warcraft and I'm constantly sneaking around as a cat in the shadows.
Yeah, you Shadow Cat sneaker?
Only when I have to be because, of course, I prefer to be a bear tank. But, you know, that's only for dungeons and that's only when I get to be the tank.
Wow, we
Otherwise,
should
I
not
gotta
let
be a
them
cat.
get the... Oh, they got it.
So I spent a large part of yesterday. I got the keyboard and I got a new hard drive for that old PC because I didn't have any hard drives that I trusted. And I spent the day putting it back together and like dusting it out and stuff. I did a thing I hadn't done before, which was replacing the thermal paste on a cooler.
Oh, you never done that?
Never done it. I was kind of expecting the paste to be like cured and hard, but it was actually still like gooey. It almost seemed like,
Yeah.
oh, I actually didn't have to replace this at all. Arctic Silver 5, I guess, is the good stuff, as they say. So I haven't heard it talked about recently, and maybe there's better stuff out there.
I was a killer. Cannot deny that I was a killer. Look at that. We lost, but I was a fucking killer.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Okay, look at
the
look at these scores on these teams. I had 167, second place was 120, then 74, then 5, then 5. The Bulbasaur that I thought was throwing went 0
was
0
just
points.
bad.
Yes, 0 points, 0 kills, 0 assists. So I guess the minimum score you can get is 20. That seems weird. You get 20 for signing your name, but we had someone that looked like they were trying, but only managed to get 3 more points.
20 for signing your name? What are you talking about?
Well, it's just a
You're just using it as a
metaphor.
metaphor.
Metaphor, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you, a Meninist?
No.
Because you don't understand.
Oh, right.
From earlier.
Oh, wow. I've been owned. I've been totally owned.
You're you're corn cobbed now.
What? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It's just a different meme. A corn cob is what you turn into when you insist that you're not owned when actually you are.
How did I not know that?
It's a drill. It's from a drill tweet. It's old. It's years old.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think I remember that tweet. Did it end with turning? It ended with him turning into a corn cob.
It was okay. I don't know the tweet. I know that there's people that can just say this off the top of their heads. Sorry, I'm not like you. It's something like I'm not owned, he screamed as he shrunk slowly into a corn cob, something like that.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not owned. I continued to insist as I slowly shrink and transform into a corn cob. Yeah, you basically nailed it.
Yeah. What a weird match. Someone on their team that literally did nothing the whole game, and we still lost because we had just 2 total buffoons on our side.
Yeah, I was looking at that scorecard and wondering to myself, like, how soon before, like,
Wow.
they better have matchmaking on this game, or people aren't gonna stand for that. Like,
They do have
people
ranked. There's a ranked.
Okay, because like.
By the way, look at this graph. See that jump? That's what happens when you kill the Zapdos.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a Zapdos?
Yeah, there's a Zapdos. We actually, it's weird that we have not done. Let's do one more. I think we do one more, and we'll make sure to do the Zapdos this time.
All right.
It's actually bizarre that I have not done a Zapdos today.
Yeah, I know the MOBA genre is well known for the online communities becoming like toxic and being extremely like mad at people for not playing a particular way or not playing good enough. And not to excuse that kind of behavior, but it is absolutely a product of the fact that this is a type of game where everyone on the team needs to all be pulling their weight or you will just lose.
Yeah.
It's really not a game where one person can carry the team.
Here, let's do this. I have literally not played as this character, so let's go in. Let's give it. There's held items, by the way, and you can upgrade them. Let's do X attack and then move set, dazzling gleam, avalanche. Oh, hit me with a move. If you could please Google an Alolan Ninetales like build guide, be like, what do they just say is the best build, and I'll just do that. Rex Errata says, speaking of things that are too strong, Zapdos could use a nerf. Sometimes it makes the rest of the game seem irrelevant. Yeah, it does. Oh, Austin's here. Hi, Austin. Austin says Gengar might be too good.
Okay.
Yeah, Gengar's really hard to not get a lot of kills with. I mean, really, can use Hex like 3 times in a row instead of like once every 8 seconds or something. It's pretty nuts.
I can read you some strategy tips about Alolan Ninetales.
Sure.
Despite being listed as an attacker, Alolan Ninetales also has some powerful support abilities like
Yeah.
Aurora Veil, so make sure
There's a
to
lot of
help out your
pushing.
teammates as well as dealing damage yourself. Always try to keep your distance as Alolan Ninetales. It might be tempting to deal damage up close, but its low endurance means you'll soon regret it.
Yeah.
Pair Alolan Ninetales with a Pokemon who can take a lot of damage. Snorlax is the best tank in the game right now. So what is the build part?
So I just want to know whether I should pick Dazzling Gleam or Avalanche. Just tell me. What does it say?
I don't see anything about that. It says pick Avalanche if you want a more attack-oriented build, or Dazzling Gleam if you want to offer support to your teammates.
All right, I ran out of time and it auto-picked Avalanche, but that seems fine anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize you had a time.
Oh, Avalanche also seems like a support move. It makes a wall.
Cool.
That's pretty neat. I haven't seen, or have at least rarely seen, a Ninetales use that move, so that might be the less common pick.
It is recommending to use Aurora Veil over Blizzard at level 6.
Okay.
Says you want to go for Aurora Veil in most cases because it's one of the most powerful crowd control abilities in the game. However, feel free to pick Blizzard if your team is lacking some damage.
Yeah. Sorry, it was pick Aurora Veil over Blizzard, right?
Yeah, unless you feel specifically like your team needs more damage.
No, we're winning.
Nice.
I mean, I think we're winning.
I think it's really smart that you can't see the score until the end of the game.
Why is that? Tell me why that is.
Because this is a genre of game that completely falls apart if anyone leaves, and so like, if one team gets too far behind, someone's just gonna be like, "Oh, forget it."
Yeah, but it does still say like we're really struggling to keep up. You know?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So it just like it still tells you the score. It just decides to be really imprecise.
Hmm.
This is going okay. I like Ninetales. Oops, I put that down. Okay, I gotta notice that doesn't like move.
I think anyone can have any number of tails that they want, and they don't need to feel less than just because they don't have as many as 9.
What do you feel about the inclusion of the Alolan Ninetales over the traditional Ninetales, which is, I think, a fan favorite Pokemon? Fuck.
Well, you know, I would certainly hope that we would get a regular Ninetales,
Yeah.
a Kanto Ninetales, if you will,
Yeah.
later. But for now, I also like the extremely cute Alolan Vulpix and Ninetales.
I like the Vulpix more than the Ninetales. I don't really like the Ninetales.
Okay. I do, you know, again, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are so weird with Pokemon that I just feel nervous about the weirdest things. Like, is Alolan Ninetales going to become the Pikachu Never Evolves of Ninetales? Of just like, no, everyone likes Alolan Ninetales, so we're doing that one forever.
I guess it's possible, but I feel like Alolan Vulpix is the stronger one.
Fan favorite, you mean?
Yeah, of the two, between Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Vulpix, I feel like Vulpix is the obvious better one. Where that is not true.
Am I forgetting what Alolan Vulpix looks like?
It's
You
just a
just cute.
white Vulpix.
Yeah, it's just a white Vulpix.
Right. Anyway, so I think I brought this up earlier, but another issue that I'm having is like, I've seen a lot of people correctly say that that an issue with MOBAs is how much time they take, and that having the 10-minute time limit is like a really good move for people who want to play a MOBA but can't invest 40 to 80 minutes.
Yeah, it seems that way to me.
But something that I have been feeling playing this game for the last few days is that actually 10 minutes is too far in the wrong direction.
Okay.
It is too short.
Yeah, they do seem very short rounds, I will say.
Like, I feel like 15 minutes, like, I don't feel like that's so much bigger of an ask, and would really let you sort of develop your character a little bit more. And they do have a quick mode even that is like 5-minute matches.
Peckerween?
Peckerween, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, Peckerween. Yeah, we all know about Peckerween. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That the person playing as the bird on your team's screen name is Peckerween. Now, I'd like to think it's just the name for the bird because it pecks a lot, but I don't think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, me neither. I agree.
You know, I don't know if you've been on the internet recently, but it's getting weird out there. There's a bunch of weirdos on there.
There's a bunch of weirdos. Yeah, so there's a 5-minute mode, which I haven't played and I can not even imagine. God damn it.
Wow. You can't even imagine it.
I can't even imagine it.
I can't even fucking imagine. Sorry, I had to.
But I hope that they at some point introduce maybe a 15-minute mode.
I hope they go the Neptune's Pride route and make a version that basically never ends and it's just constantly going 24/7. I want 2-week-long games of Pokemon Unite.
Austin says about the Zapdos earlier, I've rarely seen it make the rest of the game irrelevant. You can swing a loss to a win, but you need to be in a place to capitalize on that still. The way that I see it make the game irrelevant is when you have a team that is slightly winning, and the Zapdos win gives them a pretty insurmountable lead, and then it ends up being like a 600 to 300 match when only 90 seconds before that it was like 350 to 300 or something. That is what I've seen, is like when the winning team gets it, it is really, really hard to come back from that. But they still expect you to play the last 2.5 minutes of the game.
What an ask.
Yeah, it's a big ask. Well, I guess that's where the short time comes in. Yeah, I promised we'd do Zapdos, so here we go.
Oh, you're...
No one's helping.
Snorlax is not providing a
no
lot of assistance.
No one's helping. That's okay.
That's so fucking funny.
Gengar came.
What is Gengar doing? Wait, I mean...
Gengar's attacking. Gengar's attacking.
When you said Gengar, and my brain interpreted as Snorlax. So like,
Yeah.
You're like, Snorlax came, you know? Listen, they might not have helped, but they did
But
turn
they
out.
did finish. So I feel like it went pretty well. I feel like that went pretty well. So what it does is it makes the goals instantaneous. You don't have to like load up the goal.
Beating Zapdos?
Beating Zapdos makes it so that when you go to a goal to put in your points, it happens right away.
That's so fucked.
It's fucked. Yeah, it's totally fucked. It's
Is
based
Zapdos
in red
in
pills.
the center of the map?
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. When you told me about this game existing, I went. Did I Google it or did I go to like whatever it was, I was so annoyed by the fact that like all the videos that Nintendo put out for this game were all CG trailers that had nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
It's like, what does the game look like? Tell me.
Rex says unless the game is a blowout, the win always revolves around Zapdos. It's exciting, but unless both teams wipe each other out over the fight for it, a Zapdos win just feels kind of binary. Well, the thing is that I have played maybe 30 matches of this game, and all but 5 of them have been blowouts. So, like, unless the game is a blowout, is kind of moot when all my games are blowouts. I mean, again, look at this score that's relatively close, and then look at the Zapdos win. Like, it's pretty wild. And again, This is one where I promised, hey, we haven't been doing the Zapdos in these matches, which is kind of abnormal. So let's do one where we go and get the Zapdos. And then we went and get the Zapdos, and then, like, 905 to 261.
It works.
It works. It works.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So I think that the game has some work to do. I think that it's, like, not a perfect game. Like, because it's only 10 minutes, they give you ways to dramatically affect the score pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And I think if it was a little bit longer, they wouldn't have to push as hard to get people to be able to score points.
Right.
Like, Zapdos feels like a blue shell in Mario Kart that you can get when you're in first place. You know? And it's like you were already in first. You didn't need the blue shell. But then it's also still doesn't feel great when you're like, if they had been losing this whole game and then got the Zapdos and then it ended instead of 905 to 261 and it ended more like 450 to 350, that would have felt probably pretty great. And so I don't know what the like solution is to how to get it to not ruin the game if you're the winner already, if you're already winning. I don't know. I don't really know the solution, but it just doesn't seem like it exactly works. As you can see, like, hey, you can see the Rotom down there at 62. Like, that's a little bit of a bump. We got a little bit of a bump. That's a nice little bit of a bump. If you're 15, there's a Dreadnought. Dreadnought also provides. So there's the Rotom, and then the Dreadnought, and then the Zapdos. And it feels like if the game was 5 minutes longer, they could sneak in, like, instead of the Zapdos, do 2 other little ones, and that might help make the swings justifiable and not so huge, and also paced a little bit better, instead of like the game is all about keeping pace until the Zapdos shows up, and then you have to get the Zapdos. I don't know.
Or maybe you give some other kind of boon, like, or an opportunity for a boon to the team if the opposing team gets the Zapdos. Like, they got the Zapdos, you now, I don't know.
But then the game is almost over.
There's closer to their side.
The Zapdos shows up at like 8 or 9 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
To the 10-minute game, and so there's like not much left to develop after that. So I think the game is too short. I think the whole thing is a little underbaked. I think the load times are outrageous, but I think it's really fun in general.
Looks fun.
It is fun.
Now, I've been wearing these ear pods in my ears for like 3 hours, and they are finally starting to hurt. So I think it's time to get going.
Okay. What do we have any things to say? Do we have any stuff? As always, you can go to contentburger.biz. That is the Run Button Patreon. And that's a little loud.
Don't forget to lower the game volume.
Yeah. I'm lowering it. I'm fading it out. Nice. Go to the Patreon, sign up, get our videos, get our Shenmue 2 videos. We get Shenmue 2 coming out in the next day or two.
We got more Shenmue coming. We got more Metal Gear coming. We got more Digimon coming. We might even have some Castlevania I forgot to put out.
Yeah. Oh, and then if you're on Twitch, make sure to go to the youtube.com/runbutton, and subscribe there for our actual videos and not just the Snooze Button stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Bye.
Bye. Love you.